just be quiet a second.
what will happen to the city. So it's one of the unique features Auckland has is for our volcanoes, wonderful places to stand on, not so wonderful if one of them goes back up.
Yeah.
But we don't suffer from quakes.
Are we live?
Two main
I think we're live. It says I've got one viewer. It says I've got one viewer.
Yep, we have that.
Or is it 535? I don't know.
hurricanes. So
One of the screens says one viewer, one of them says 532.
and suffer some drop-offs.
Anyway, hello. Welcome.
Do you have that as well, Will?
Hello.
We're in, like, yeah,
Just looking at the chat.
we have like evacuate.
Is the chat coming up on the screen? No, let me turn on the backup chat box immediately. Going back to streaming on YouTube.
But kind of nerve-wracking because like definitely where I lived before, like none of this was an issue. The only
Right, is that the backup chat? There you go.
plan nearby, and then
Okay, I'm getting spammed in the chat, so we must be live.
Yeah,
Hello.
pretty excited people.
It feels completely surreal to me.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Victoria 3 announcement.
Kind of issues at all.
Maybe not. I don't know. The Paradox game, whatever it's going to be. Oh, the chat box is there. Oh. I'm going to turn off the backup chat box. Look at that chat. It's the fastest chat I've ever had in my life.
It's flying.
But yeah, I'm joined with my my co-host, Piechucker. Hello, Piechucker.
Hello, Spudgun. Welcome everybody to the alternate viewing of PDXCON. Wow, I can't believe how many people are watching. That's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, Piechucker is joining us from New Zealand, where it is 5 a.m. Right?
At the scene. I'm at the scene. I'm the local correspondent. No, it's 5 a.m. man.
Because of the time zones, Victoria 3 has actually been released for Piechucker already. He is
I won't spoil it.
about, what, 7-8 hours ahead of us. It's already been announced.
like where I live, a lot of it, like the city Langford is only.
I'm being a gentleman that I won't spoil it. You need to turn me down a little bit, Spud, I think, or I'll turn myself
How
down.
is the audio on all this? I don't know. I can't hear what the stream sounds like. I don't know. I'm just... Are you listening to my stream?
Like BC town.
Nah, just the chat spamming. Piechucker too loud.
Piechucker too loud. Piechucker too loud.
So a lot of cookie cutters.
Yeah, he was at 130%.
Yeah, and like it's so funny because the BC style is so unique.
Right, so here we are.
Alright.
Anyway, okay. We are doing live coverage of ParadoxCon. They'll be announcing the game in about an hour. So before that, we're going to chat, discuss, and have special guests and so on. And
That character.
what else have we got?
Except for other areas in New Zealand.
I'm sure I had something else I was going to say. That's it, really. We're just going to sit here, discuss things, wait for the announcement, and then react to the announcement
7 cities,
with some special guests.
5 cities and 2 districts.
Oh god, there's a Kiwi on right now, Spud.
Under one county.
Yeah, there is.
He's got one of the worst. He's got one of the worst Kiwi accents. 7 cities.
Region called South
Oh,
Where would you say he's from in New Zealand with that accent now?
the fastest growing region.
Australia.
Oh, controversial.
And the reason why South Auckland
You actually quite often you see that. You see
streets, so
Kiwi sort of ham it up a bit.
right our way. And so the urban form that also followed it was the
Cookie cutter.
low density detached
Your money or your life.
plot
Wow, I just got a super chat. Asquith.
spread out.
Asquith has given me £30 already. Wow.
So
I should,
we still use heavy rain.
Begin as we mean to continue.
We've got light
That's
rain.
fantastic.
thank you so much for that, Asquith. See you on Monday for that he's in the Monday campaign, isn't he? Yeah, I'll see him on.
But if you go to
Yeah, so this is a one-off stream back on YouTube again. I've moved to streaming on Twitch for my Victoria 2, that was a nice segue into the streaming info because there's currently 2 ongoing Victoria 2 campaigns that I'm streaming on Twitch, which are really good. Go and follow me on there if you haven't already.
and the reason why Napier
And I hope you enjoyed that Ace to Aquitania video.
and
No spoilers for the plot.
the city got entirely
Yeah, this is a one-off YouTube stream. Someone's asking why YouTube today. I just wanted to go back for old time's sake and do a special stream on YouTube.
Somewhere. Not too recently.
So
too,
Napier,
funny enough.
We're getting Spud, you a little bit quiet, perhaps.
Am I too quiet? Shit. I'll move the mic.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too quiet.
depending on what the urban
Move the mic a wee bit closer. Because I'm streaming back on YouTube, I don't know how to like go back and read a super chat or anything like that. I've kind of forgotten what the message was, but I did read it.
Housing here, it's not
Also on YouTube, you don't have text to speech.
like Ontario and Toronto. A lot of
People are spamming oos in the chat. I don't like that.
It is
People are demanding that I read Asquith. This is fast chats are much more demanding and stressful than. How's my audio now, by the way? People are asking for a rehost.
Oh wow.
More people.
A lot of people are saying
More people
yes.
are watching you. More people are watching you, Sister
Do
One.
I have more views than Paradox right now?
Yeah. Stefano says more people are watching you than the Paradox channel on YouTube, Lamau.
I thought that might happen, but I don't know if it'll happen when they're doing an actual announcement. I don't know. My chat is actually quite delayed compared to what I'm saying. I don't know.
They want you to read the donation there, Spud.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to go back and read it.
Same and your area.
Do you want me to read it? Because I've got it
Yeah,
here.
you can do that. This is your job on the stream, Piechucker. You're going to read all the super. You're going to
Okay.
do the text to speech because YouTube doesn't have text to speech. Okay.
This one's from a little known fan, Asquith. Victoria 3 will be a crossover with City Skylines, which will allow you to build a Victorian city.
Wow, isn't there like Anno 1836 or some game like that?
Yeah, that looked quite promising. I didn't really follow that all the way to release, but that did look quite interesting at the time. 710 people, Spud.
710 people. Okay. All right. That's good.
It's not even 710 people where I live.
Ah, I saw that super chat. Vicky 3 or Revolt. Thank you, Cheating Champ. I saw that one. They go up really fast in the chat. How are you supposed to even read super chats? I don't see them on my Streamlabs OBS. They don't come up on that.
Your money or your life.
And also, I thought I turned off the sound. Oh my god, another one. Officer Gattle, thank you. 10. We need March of the Eagles too. Yes. I need to read them quickly before they disappear. Someone, what are we going to do for our 20k subscriber special? I don't know.
Crowhorse says Piechucker should get 50% of the donation if he's reading it. So I'm just going to race to read every single one now.
Was that a donation or a chat message?
Oh, it's just a humble chat message. I think that's a fair call,
It's not
actually.
legally binding then.
It's not legally binding, you're right.
What are they talking about on the Paradox stream right now?
I think they're just indulging the Kiwi and pretending they understand what he's saying. And he's just sort of been talking to himself the past 10-15 minutes.
Oh, I mean, what's the subject? What game? What game are they talking about?
I heard skyscrapers, and I also heard that he was talking about Napier. So I think it might be City Skylines.
Your money or your life.
Oh my god, there's so many super chats. So many people, so many super chats, so little time. If anyone's asking why I'm doing a stream on YouTube instead of Twitch, I think it's already kind of spoken for itself today. Okay, someone's asking me for turn up my volume or turn down Piechucker. How about both? Right? Let me turn up my a little bit of gain on my microphone. Okay, I'm gonna go and do that. Piechucker, carry the stream or turn up my microphone.
Alright, we'll carry the stream.
By the way, do you see,
Now, which one's the Kiwi? Is it Ben? I think Ben might be the Kiwi. And he looks suspiciously like a Northern Lion. Oceana says, Good morning, Spud and Pie. I hope you both are well. Anno 1800 is extremely fun. I highly recommend it. Oh, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with this Asquith selling the city building game in the Victorian era. There's already that. There's already stuff like that. So I wonder if Paradox would ever enter that market. Probably not. I've got more viewers than Paradox. Up stream volume. No, I'm not upping the fucking the Paradox stream volume right now. It's just in the background. Unless we want to pay attention.
Your
to
money
anything
or
we're
your
talking
life.
about.
People now it's just good. Like it's very fast to go anywhere, every part of the China. Like
He's talking about China.
Could be rich in maybe like.
What are they talking about? They're talking about New Zealand.
I don't
and
know. I'm
China?
trying. Yeah, I'm trying to dip in to see if I can pick it up.
This current affairs or something?
Yeah, it's just current affairs. Yeah, Sino Kiwi relations.
That's a hot topic.
It's like a joke here.
Oh, a joke? She's about to tell a joke.
China, or how does that look?
Train
That's
typically
turned
say,
up.
train is on time. It's not like plane, just delayed every time. Train is still like punctuated.
Wow.
Your money or your
They're
life.
talking
Thank you
about
very
the
much
Chinese
to-
train system?
I wish we had that, and I wish we had that in
We
Tokyo.
have no
Thank you very much, Sweet
I
Fluff,
wish
for
we had
£2.
that in Tokyo, says the New Zealand person. What are they talking about?
And there's just no more trains running on the island now.
I think it must be City
Your money or
Skylines.
your life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's same with the light rail. They let that just kind of go. There was,
Turn that volume
I don't know,
back
all
down
this
again. We got some super chats.
in the early 1900s in a tram
We've got a lot of super chats. It's actually going insane.
Victoria. So the island is just buses. And to deal with
Satania says Victoria 2 Mobile Edition Pog. I made that joke yesterday, and I horrified my friend. But yeah, like didn't Bethesda do
Your
that
money or
with
your life.
Elder Scrolls?
Like I don't know.
It's
The only
like
thing I remember about
yeah, it was a
mobile games
Skyrim,
was-
an Elder Scrolls card game.
the only mobile game controversy I remember was Diablo and Blizzard, something like that.
That might be what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And I've already seen people talking about or joking whether Paradox will actually pull that and say, don't you guys? Actually, no, they don't have to worry about a live audience booing them because of it's all remote, so they don't have to.
Oh no.
They don't have to do any damage control when people hate what they're talking about.
So now we're stuck with double deckers.
We actually have the bed board here in Sweden.
Right.
Seems like there's a bit of a stream delay.
Is there a delay between you hearing?
Your money or your life.
No, that's
Not wrong.
fine. There is a bit of a delay
Yeah.
with the stream chat, but that's okay.
interesting, funny. I don't want to cut you off here.
Mary asking, "What's the bet she's transgender?" What?
Not a left-hand drive because we're a Commonwealth.
What? Who cares?
God, it's yeah, controversial.
Right?
That's one of my fucking mods as well. Who cares? Right.
Xbox, you know, we were like enemies with them at the time or something, weren't we? Like, you think we'd have that British influence? But I don't know. I feel like most colonies were.
Yeah. Okay. I think this. So the stream audio should be
Most
okay.
colonies drive on the left.
Most colonies drive on the left.
Yeah, that's the hot take currently.
What? What are they talking about?
I actually didn't know that Canada didn't drive on the left. I found that out the other day.
Well, it would make sense for Canada to be in sync
Yeah.
with the USA driving on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the times I try it. Oh my, I confuse myself.
All the bastes coming out in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, based.
It's complicated, but my brain just can't get it. I've never driven it in real life. I've
Okay.
a vehicle with the steering wheels and this.
Anything else?
I can't do it.
I think it's time to welcome a special guest. What do you think, Piechucker?
I think that's a great idea.
Today, we are joined by our first special guest. There'll be more, maybe another one. He's in the waiting room. So let me just drag him down here. Let's build up the tension a little bit. Who's it going to be, chat? Who's the special
Yeah,
guest?
who's it gonna be? Who's the special guest? Who's the first one?
Thanks, Keys, and thanks to all the other super chat people so far as well. I really appreciate. Actually, yeah, I really appreciate all the super chats and things, the support and all that.
Oh, I think somebody's got it.
know.
Somebody's guessed it.
Back to the guest.
Fucking
Bad
Boko in one.
Frank, Bocoin, Nurse Reno, Bernard. We could get Bernard. Markiplier, ISP, Vic 3. Oh,
Chat's going
someone
crazy.
suggesting Vic 3 as my special guest.
Your money or your life.
Iconic.
Yeah, many of them are right. Okay, let's get him in here.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Nurse Reno, hello.
You pulled me out when Loco was having.
Loco's in there.
Your
Oh,
money
he
or
could be
your
our next
life.
guest.
And everything.
What's up?
Like, in the real world.
This is fucking insane. I've got more viewers than Paradox themselves.
But
Wow.
when it comes to,
Well,
architecture,
So, in order to discuss Victoria 3, if we release it, we
Sure.
need to release the most. We need to bring in the most knowledgeable person on Victoria 2, the author
Sure.
of the Nurse Reno Economic Guide, the author of the Nurse Reno Military Cheat Sheet, the host of
Forgot I
many
wrote that
amazing
one.
games where he plays as Liechtenstein, so he's neutral in rule disputes.
but it doesn't usually work out that way. People always think I do backroom deals, but
Yeah.
you get used to it. You know, I kind of thrive under that. So. I'm gonna tell you now that I really hope they don't announce it because that really fucking suck.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to. Well, I'm a skeptic, so I'm
Yeah,
biased.
that's a really popular opinion among Victoria 2 players that we don't actually want them to release it because it'll be shit.
So smart.
And I'm
Yeah,
kind of,
you know,
I think that a little bit. I want to go in with an open mind, and if they do release it, I'll follow it and make content on it. But I'll always have
Yeah,
it
well,
at the back of my mind. It's probably going to be shit.
you make money off it, you fuck. But I do hope at least that, like, it depends a lot on who's involved and whose vision they're following. But at the very
They
least,
should follow your
like
vision.
Victoria. Well, I'm not saying mine's any better or anything. I didn't even have a vision. But the point is, though, is it has to have that magic. Victoria 2 has magic that always keeps you learning. Like even now, we're still figuring out new shit about the base mechanics that we didn't know for 8 years. So, but you don't get that out of something like Europa or Koi or something like that. So maybe, I don't know,
Yeah, that's
maybe.
true. With Europa and Hoi 4, there's a set amount of numbers. The units do this, the factories they do that. You can never.
Yeah,
There's nothing to
simple Steam
there's
guide.
nothing to theorize about them or search. They're just there.
Reno and I spoke probably a week ago about some of the things that we'd like to see and not like to see. I'm just trying to think of some of the things we brought up.
Well, the sphere market is a big one. So, well, I don't,
Yes.
I don't want to get into the gritty because there's a lot, but it's just having basically a functional and in quotations there functional population simulation with consumption, production, pop growth. It'd be nice if that was the whole core of the focus, and then they built off of that even more so, and had more logical things instead of like a magical duping sphere market. I mean, I like the sphere market. I think it's cool, but you can tell that it was partially half-assed. It's definitely a patch job. They probably had some sort of market issue that they were running into that they solved with literal magic.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's one of the best things about Vic 2, right? It's that it wasn't massively planned around a corporate boardroom. It was a passion project. They had no idea what they were doing, and they created lots of random weird stuff that doesn't make any sense. And that's why we all love it.
Your money or your life.
well, it does, like, but the thing is I feel like I've spent like the past 4 years really trying to get into what the hell they were thinking with a lot of stuff. And I feel like there is like a strain of logic behind a lot of stuff, especially the sphere markets. Like at first I used to think that it was stupid. Like I used to think that, it was a complete patch job, it's half-assed or whatever. But now, with time, you start viewing how currency works, and I'm not going to get too much into it. But the sphere market is it's a beautiful thing. It it really fulfills a lot of issues in the game, like too much currency, not enough goods, bypassing market priority in the world market. Like there's so much it achieves that it's pure genius. How can someone just come up with something like that? Like you can tell there was a lot of love put into it.
Yes.
So, and I just don't really see that happening again under current paradox, which is what I'm most skeptical of.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I mean, yeah, it's hard to recreate the magic of that. I mean, they were a smaller team back then, 11 years ago.
I think the fact that you can not, when you're fighting a war in Victoria 2, you're not just worrying about mana, or you're not, obviously you can criticize the mana systems of other games, but the fact that you have a economic system that's dynamically deciding your fate in a lot of
Your
ways,
money
or
or
whether
your
you can
life.
supply your army or not, and the peacetime mechanics of making sure that you have an economy and the diplomacy.
Yeah.
It's a very three-dimensional experience.
Yeah, in Victoria 2 Wars, you care a lot more about what's going on because your soldiers are made up of your pops, and you spend time developing those pops and getting those pops growing and encouraging the soldiers that you're using now. So there's a lot more at stake rather than just Hoi 4, where it's a manpower pool and you took this fucking economic policy, higher manpower, or you took that national focus plus 4% manpower. You don't care. You're not tied to it at all.
yeah, it also feels like the gameplay is a lot more emergent. Like the experiences you get in between different games could be so wildly different. It's not like in Hoi or Europa where the alliances are rather intuitive. Like people do generally follow the whole central power versus allies theme, but it's not uncommon to also see the opposite occur, where you get an Ottoman Empire that's a part of a British bloc, or you get Japan who allies with Russia, something like that. You get that like rather consistently actually, but you just don't, I don't know, there's just no magic really in Europa, depending so much on mana and really stagnant mechanics like the trade mechanics in Europa 4, or like
Well,
even Hoi 4, where it's like I feel like Hoi 4's combat's cool, but like the emergent meta that came out of that game is so disappointing. Maybe it could change with mods. I don't play Hoi enough, but it's like the whole idea of error controllers and people that specialize. I think that's kind of
oh yeah,
that's rough. I like that. That's
it's probably fun to
counterintuitive.
play, but it's a bit silly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not. People always play what they want to play. I'm not insulting that it's worse or better than Vicky or whatever, but it's just not what I like. I like emergent gameplay. I like variety. I like to be able to sculpt your country as you see fit from the ground up. So, and
Yes.
Vicky allows that. So,
Exactly, and ultimately, where's Victoria 2 and Spud's channel is the greatest example
absolutely,
of this.
yes.
Is the fact that it can create such incredible stories. Like it has, like Reno was describing, that magic. Where if you're playing Hearts of Iron 4, you know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. But in Victoria 2 and the mods that people like Reno make, you have no idea what's going to happen, and it's so dynamic and really depends on the dice and also diplomacy and working with other people, and the multiplayer is it's not like any other Paradox game in that sense.
Yeah.
The
stream.
There's definitely
still
more to
just
the
talking
Diplo
about-
game.
They're just still on that screen behind us on the actual Paradox stream talking about. I don't know. I have it muted. Anyway, there's a lot of requests for other special guests, and I just want to ask this, Nurse Reno. Do you have Bad Frank's number?
Oh. There was one time when Frank suggested we meet up because I used to do a lot of volunteer work in Virginia, and I don't know, he was memeing about it, but no, I don't have his actual number, but I'm pretty sure that we could meet up. It'd be kind of weird. He's also like really short. He has really bad facial hair patterns. He's balding. He's got
very interesting. There's no way we can ever reach out to him now. Then, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's buried
but
with
we
God.
do have 22 minutes past. That means we're coming up to about 35 minutes almost till the actual announcement. We can get our next special guest. He's balanced. He's a koala. He is Zombie Freak 115. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the squad. This is like a chat show. This is ridiculous. I've never done anything like this.
1100 views now. People
Like you
are
can
going crazy.
imagine the band starts playing some jazz music and Zombie Freak walks in and sits down on the couch next to us with those stupid talk shows. Anyway, he's balanced. Yeah. It's
Balance,
Zombie.
yeah,
He
that
has
is
a lot
funny,
of
'cause-
interesting information. He might even know more than Nurse Reno about the game. I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
Careful.
I think mechanically speaking, Nurse Reno is probably more knowledgeable than I am. I will say in terms of like, I remember, a few days ago I was talking to him on the Spot Discord, and he told me a bunch of shit about spheres that I didn't even that I didn't even know. Granted, I haven't read his guide yet. The famous Nurse Reno economic guide. But on that point, he passed along a lot more new information to me.
What was that information? Let's get into the details.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you want to know? Well, it was about the spheres, how spheres actually remove money from the game, which I didn't know. Before that, I thought it was some other factor.
You heard
that
it here first.
that was money.
Unless you were watching the conversation in my chat.
What's that?
Well, I mean, they heard it here first. Whatever spears remove money from the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I can try to explain it. I mean, I'm sure Nurse Reno could explain it better himself because he's the
No, go ahead.
proprietor.
You're good. It's better for you to explain it so you really know what.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
the one who
so
learned it. You've
basically,
got to,
So what spheres do, from what I understood from what she told me, is it takes the money, it takes all its goods and sells to the world market, but a percentage of those goods are duped and then sold on the sphere market. But money that's paid for those goods in the sphere market, that money doesn't go anywhere. That money is deleted. So it basically creates more goods for the sphere, but it actually removes any money that is paid for those sphere duped goods. That's how I understood it. So in essence, it basically means that if you sphere somebody, it removes money from the game, but it dupes more goods for the sphere. That's how I understood it.
That's correct.
Yeah. And of course, that actually helped me solve a few things, because I actually had a problem in the game where there was a lack of money, and people kept saying, is it the mod that's wrong? Because I edited the mod, right? But then I found out that actually people had sphered Japan, who owned quite a bit of China. So as soon as you unsphered that, it made money again because all the sphere goods were being duped, which when they sold to the UK sphere, and all that money was disappearing from the game, basically.
Yeah, and the UK is a huge amount of money,
Absolutely.
especially for the early and the mid.
Yeah, absolutely huge sphere market and a huge amount of money in that economy. So that like actually
money
solved
or
the
your
problem.
Someone
life.
suggested to put on some different music. I've got some nice smooth bossa nova in the background now. It's better than the Victoria 2 soundtrack. Anyway, I actually zoned out with that. I hope my chat didn't as well. But I was dealing with stream stuff. And I'm thinking, who could we bring in as our next special guest? Because there's how many people in the fucking waiting room? Oh my god.
Quite a few.
Most of them not waiting for anything other than Vic 3.
I really hope it doesn't happen, man. I can't go.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to really digest because you just get so skeptical. Like it's an excuse. The analogy, but it's like being a battered housewife with these recent, like just the way their profit model works is so predatory. It's brutal. It's really brutal, and I hate seeing a game title I really like have to go through something like that. Like the original Vicky 2 was nice enough to only have 2 expansions, which they're pretty huge changes to the game. Each one provided a shit ton of changes. So it's a good thing that those did exist. But if there was like 20, it'd be a lot harder to reconcile that, not just with my wallet, but trying to get people into the game.
Yeah,
like
I
it's a
can't
huge
reconcile
hurdle.
U4 with my wallet. Well, I did. I mean, I didn't buy any of it other than the base game when it came out. But I haven't bought a single DLC for that game. And I only ever use them if I get multiplayer with a host who has them.
Yeah, at least that exists. Got one little stream.
Yeah, they came out with a subscription system for it a few months ago.
I did.
Oh, the subscription system. Oh god.
I got shit posted a lot.
I think
Oh, man.
I know who I'm going to bring as my next guest. This man needs no introduction, so I won't give him one. Let's just bring him. Hello, Asquith. Hello.
Oh, that man himself.
I don't know if he expected to be moved. He's not here. How is that? Did he get unbanned? I don't know.
Oh, hello? Ah, I got dragged down. I was wondering what I could hear over on the television.
Asquith, you're here to discuss
The audio was a bit bugging.
what Paradox are going to release. Do you think it's going to be Vic 3?
I'm not sure, I mean, it's been a good, 10, 11 years now. So, in terms of refreshing the IP and what other fresh ideas they're going to try and get to sell, because, Paradox being Paradox, they need to, get themselves a new game, some new bloody stuff, and like some more cash for more profit for them, which is all well and good. But they've done the Hoi game, they've done the EU4 game, they've done the new CK game. Like, in my terms, it's either a new IP or Victoria 3.
Yeah.
Or possibly City Skylines 2, which is my big meme. Because all us mappers are talking about like all these games, but it could be City Skylines 2 for all we know.
Yeah, they own that IP.
I'm not actually sure about that because isn't City Skylines developed by a different studio, just published by Paradox? I thought they said they would
I
actually
don't
like an
know.
actual
Well, yeah,
developed
this is
game.
a proper
but,
Paradox developed IP.
Ah,
I think Victoria 3 would be profitable enough. Business perspective, absolutely. I don't see any
I
problem.
hope so.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
aye.
absolutely.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's a big name. It's a thing they haven't done for a while, and this is the main thing, because CK2 was more recent than Victoria. That was like 2012, wasn't it? CK2. So, I don't know. I mean, people are talking. I mean, the thing is, it was sold really well, and this was like probably like the first game to really like launch on Steam and all that, like digital distribution rather than like all properly, rather than like first Paradox like grand strategy game to do that.
CK2 was one that really did really well for Paradox and got them much bigger, wasn't it? I don't know, but
yeah.
Part of their transition from where they were when they released Victoria 2 to where they are now, which is a really big company right now.
That's the thing, yeah. And Victoria 2 like, sold well, and it continues to sell well. And like now they've got there's good numbers on Steam for Victoria. Also, if you compare it to like the releases that bombed, like Imperator and Maybe you could even say March of the Eagles and that. You know, people don't even. You talk to some people and they don't even know that March of the Eagles is
Which
a game.
Ridiculous. You
Well,
know,
like,
it's,
yeah.
Have they not seen my videos on it?
Yeah, it's a hidden gem.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Every time Frank or one of you guys would ask me to play it, I would just laugh because I never thought you were serious. I never thought you guys actually played them. I thought it was always a joke.
Yeah, we definitely did for a bit.
Oh shit!
Can't be
Something's
playing
happening
games
on the
without
Paradox stream. They
steering.
just
Your
finished
money
up
or your
whatever they were
life.
talking about, and now well, it's half an hour before the announcement, so they must be doing a pre-announcement thing. I mean, this might be relevant.
I think I read that the official thing starts at 7:30 my time, but that would be like 8:30 for you, and then they wrap it up at like 8 p.m. or something like that.
It is 6:30 now.
Yeah, so that's why I thought they might stop talking about.
Yeah,
we're
the
talking
announcement's in
about
half
now.
an hour, so yeah, pre-show. Yeah, pre-show. It says it right there. Pre-show, post-talk, secret event. Okay, well, let's see what they talk about for the pre-show. I'm going to put the sound up a little bit, and I'll actually listen to that. And then, you know, turn it back down in about 10 seconds, probably.
Yeah, I would hazard to guess they'd only start with the real announcement at 8 p.m. But we'll see.
I can imagine they'll announce the game last. They'll probably have several other announcements beforehand. You'd think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see on this panel on the side. There's probably going to be some new City Skylines DLC.
Now we're actually
Just
reacting to
mappers
something.
don't care about.
Are all my guests
Yeah.
actually watching the Paradox stream so we know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I've got
Actually,
it on
I'm watching your stream of their stream. I
That's
probably
fine.
should switch to the actual. Because the stream is delayed, isn't it?
Oh, the
So
audio
that's
of this is
the-
going to be a nightmare to sort out. Right, let's see what they're talking
Is that
about.
exciting? Are we supposed to be excited for that?
I mean, I guess.
Are we announcing stuff? I
Why
don't
would
feel
it be
like we
called the announcement show if we weren't announcing things?
yeah, I
She's
guess
got a
so.
point.
I guess
Yep.
that makes sense. Nothing big or important.
Some
though.
quality chat, some quality chat going on between these two. Chemistry.
I mean, it's not like we teased stuff at Paradox Insider or anything.
Wait, I'm going to
What
move
was
this
it you
thing
said
across a little
then?
bit.
I don't know. Something
a
about
big,
some kind of
PDS.
Okay, how long are they going to milk
Name
this particular
from
fucking gag?
PDS.
Come
I
on.
don't know. No idea what it could be.
Yeah.
This is
Could be
weird.
anything.
It's a
The
mystery.
way they got the
It could
green
be
screen and
anything.
stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
So what do we talk about now for like 30 minutes while people go
To be honest,
crazy?
I think our
about
little show we have
speculation?
going here is more
30
high
entire
quality than
minutes.
30
this.
it doesn't
so
go
far.
live until 8.
you mean 30 minutes?
I mean, it's
where
pretty
everyone
hard to get us all in the studio, but
They're doing a
Maybe
pre-show
it's
and they
for
don't
the
even know what to
announcement.
talk
I
about
can
in the half
see
an hour.
right now all of the resident sleepers in chat.
They
Makes you
actually
wonder.
She just said they can.
I
She just said she can see all the resident
burned into my
sleepers in chat.
antennas How wild the chat is going right now.
Ow.
Somebody's probably saying, "Who cares?"
What if it is
Yeah.
Vicky
Saying, I
3 and
don't
they
wanna
have
see
two
it.
people out here? They have two people out here who have never played Vicky. Wouldn't that be some shit?
Yes.
That'd be fucked up.
I think
Yeah, they should have brought you on.
they should have brought you on.
No.
They should have brought on someone who's
Full-
at least read the Nurse Reno Economic Guide.
I've joked about it before about showing up at Frank's house or something in full Indian regalia, and like with a full feather hat and everything. I've joked about it.
Well,
And then,
he's the one who's memed you most
someone
about
else-
that.
we got going on?
No.
Well,
As big as possible.
I don't know, actually. I
Right,
think
and if it's one of those numbers, then I'm right.
Crafter's problem.
Right.
Oh, but he's not funny.
Frank
Frank's
didn't.
funny.
Frank didn't do it that much. Though.
This is
Frank didn't do it that much. It was always his go-to though. Whenever I piss him off.
So we started
But Frank's
Just like
was
I-
more high quality than whatever Craft
Well,
was.
We talked to HR.
Well, I'd see like the thing though with me and Frank is we've known each other for a while. I used to make fun of like because you can kind of figure out Frank. Because I know, and excuse me if this is insulting anybody, but Frank would sometimes mess up how he'd say words like Oatmans
Yeah.
or Spear
Navy.
Markets.
That's why we talk about
He has-
spears.
Right. Well, see, the thing is that I kind of, deciphered
or
from
your
that
life.
Frank has crippling dyslexia. So, and then I started talking to him about it. I was like, Frank, have you ever had to take any dyslexia classes? And we really got into it, and he kind of admitted to it. And I was like, well, now I feel like shit. But anyways,
You're
that's
just
how I get
making
back
people
at
want
Frank.
Frank. He's not going to be here long.
Yeah.
It's just
That's how I fuck with him now. Anytime he'd fuck with me, I'd say, oh, your alcoholism or dyslexia or whatever.
They just need to go and watch
I hope
a
they-
video with him in it again to get the fill because he's not going to be here.
No, he's I think he joined the army or something. His dad
Unless,
put down.
unless they announce on this Paradox stream, they're announcing Bad Frank 2. Now that, now that I would buy.
Or
and all the
maybe
DLC for
Paradox
it.
have got him to announce the game. He's doing the voiceover. He's going to do it like the trailer. In a world of boxes.
Razor peripheral.
Yeah.
Know how big that shipment
The issue is there's no way you can get Frank on a stream because he has no filter. There's no way.
At least one mouse.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
He's also a good old Southern boy too, so you don't hold back. You catch my drift.
Yeah. I would fucking take the risk.
I mean,
come on.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you see any stream or any game video with him in, that definitely supports it. I mean, he has very little filter, which, to be honest, might be interesting for a stream like this. But it depends on how PG friendly you want to keep it, though.
Well, to be honest, it's
Twitch would allow me, which is not very. Or it is actually very.
It's a game about colonialism, right? It's, you know, genocide and war. And
well, that's one of the things about them
economic
releasing
hardship.
Victoria 3, right? I mean, how are they going to deal with all that stuff? That's controversial. Blah blah blah. I don't want to talk about it though.
That's true.
I mean, they did deal in Victoria too, and I mean, some people have criticized the game for that, but I'm not sure they wouldn't do like the game because of that. I'm sure they can find workarounds. I mean, they made a World War II video again without the Holocaust even being mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cause
I'm
sure they can do the Victoria. No, if they can do the World War II, it'd be fine with it, I guess.
I won't mention specific events, but you know, there's been even more controversial events in the Second World War in that period than in the Victorian period.
The problem is they can. Well, how
I
much
shit like
there's
the Belgians though.
They can make Hoi 4 without talking about horrible certain events, but they can't make the Victoria game without talking about slavery. So I don't know.
They can't make a Vicky game without talking about the Belgian Congo, talking about like
well,
it's
you
not
can
East
get
Pakistan.
you can colonize the
Bengal.
Congo as another country that isn't Belgium and post it on Reddit. Like you can get the Luxembourg Congo, and that's a really funny upvote.
That's true. You're not
The thing is,
necessarily railroaded.
Yeah, you're joking about it, but I think it does have an interesting point because
money
if
or
you
your
look on
life.
games like Stellaris has a lot of stuff in it that would be potentially offensive. You got like straight up genocide, you can click genocide button, but no one really questions that or has a problem with it because it's not.
But the thing is with
based in real
Victoria
history, right?
is
So you get all
it's
history
based in.
so it doesn't really matter if it's history. And I think the only thing that might get into conflict would be U.S. slavery, but anything else I think has enough old history in it that it could potentially wouldn't be a problem. Like as you say, Indian Congo, like even though it would be the same as Belgian Congo, it's but a different flag because it's not the same as in real history. People probably wouldn't have as much of a problem with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the only way that you could possibly dishonor the people that the history is about is to not address it. I think if you ignore the history because it's controversial, you know, like in Vic 2, there's Native American mechanics, and missions and flavor around that. If you were to completely ignore that, then you would be dishonoring the history and the people that the history is about.
Probably.
In my opinion, I don't think you know, I can understand why you'd be incentivized not to talk about it. But I think that's the cowardly thing. And I think that'd be the only thing that could be disrespectful to
That's
those
what they
people.
did in Hearts of Iron, though. Oh, never mind. It's so
That is true. That is kind of a. So it does make sense. Like even in the framework of Vicky, though, things like that are still like you may hear about the Belgian Congo, but you don't really hear anything about the Poles. So like even within Vicky 2, there's still some absence of how rough that time period was on some people. So.
The most you get really is you get an event with a description, and then you see the description has like minus population, and it just trivializes it in that way. Like you don't really know what went on.
Yeah, Victoria 2 just trivializes history in a disgusting way.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Somebody made a really good point saying like you could post the Belgian Congo on Victoria to Reddit and it would get lots of upvotes and it's funny. I think the reason it gets lots of upvotes and it's a meme and it's funny is because it's still taboo, and it's still shied away from. I don't think I think you don't need to make it a mechanic, but I think like it does, like I mentioned with the Native Americans in Victoria too. having it mentioned, I think is important. Like you don't need to make it a gameplay feature, but
Well, they did that in the Trail of Tears,
They
didn't
should
they?
consult Nurse Reno on how to properly address the Native American
Oh,
strife.
see, I actually think it should be a mechanic. I think slavery should be a mechanic because ultimately it's bad. You should make it a punishing mechanic, as it is in Vicky 2. Like, for example, starving your colonial pops, giving them unemployment, things like that. That's punishing. Slavery's punishing. Those pops, they can't do anything. If anything, the idea of genocide in
Your
Vicky,
money
and
or
some
your
mods
life.
have it, okay? That's reality. It's always bad. People, individual, you can view it from like a materialist point of view or from like, however you want to view it. People are valuable in Vicky. Individual pops are valuable. Any sort of killing or harming those pops or letting them starve hurts you. It shows that you're a bad player. And I think that's not what I don't know about first, but that shows that you're inexperienced as a player and you don't know how to play optimal.
All right.
Because every individual pop is good.
We are 20 minutes from the actual announcement. Let's stop discussing the controversial elements of the game. I'm going to take a moment to listen to what the hell they're actually talking about here.
In fact, dive into their content individually. But for now, we only have an hour to discuss it in the announcement show. So that's no pressure.
It's more like, here is the stuff.
I understand how he's feeling.
And then if you wait till tomorrow, you can see what it is, what it actually is.
Really grab into it and dig into it.
Yeah.
But you know where the best place to find all that information
Spudgun
is?
Official.
What is it, Troy?
That's right. It's on our Discord.
Right here.
I'm gonna keep plugging it, man.
Not
Just
on their
keep plugging
Discord, not on their stream. The best place to find out all this information is right here on Spudgun Official. And with that, I've turned the volume down again.
All the people that work on our projects, and you know what? They've put in so much time and effort and work. And like
how could this not be Victoria 3? How could it not be?
Handling our social medias.
Yeah, everything does seem to point towards it, but then again, people thought that as well last year. So we'll see.
I don't remember.
Well, even more so now, considering last year.
This guy's talking about how
I remember there was one time where everyone thought it was going to be released, announced, but it wasn't.
What, he was talking about how hard it is to moderate the Discord?
The Discord, yeah, that's probably because half the people in this chat right now, he's calling you guys out.
It's so easy to moderate the Paradox Discord. Mine is where the fucking troubles were. Oh my god.
I go out of my way to mess up your Discord at any opportunity. I tell people to rebel against the system as much as I can.
Okay.
I do my part.
Every one of our CAs is just
Good job, Nurse Reno.
One of these days, they're gonna overthrow you, and they're gonna put me in that place, and I'm gonna rule over this Discord, and they're gonna be able to say whatever they want.
Yeah, and then it's gonna
be anarchy. Well, yeah, which one? How many are we on now?
Well, only the second one, but the first one it would end up like that.
What time though?
Wait,
took a little bit of time.
A thing just came up on the right of the screen showing what the lady there, what her job was and the position. I actually don't know. What did it say? Who are
they
they?
flashed up really quick. I can reverse the
Live
video.
content producer.
Live content producer?
Yes.
Oh, that's my fucking title. That's what I'm going to say. When people ask me what my job is in real life, which is always a difficult question, I'll just say that.
I prefer professional map game connoisseur.
Oh,
but that's just me.
yeah.
That's why we're here, is because we love our jobs.
That's why we're here, because we love our jobs. That's what he said.
Who cares what I do? Everyone here is really just like, this is what I want to do.
Sometimes though, you give Nurse Reno a bad rap.
I feel like I should shed a tear now.
Right?
It felt.
She's going to shed a tear?
Hurt my feelings
inspired and
sometimes.
motivated
She's going to shed a single
Sometimes.
tear like the Nurse
Live
Reno
content
emo.
would be nowhere without you.
I have to
wouldn't be
defend
nowhere
myself
without you.
in those Meme River videos. I was in the right.
Ridiculous.
Oh, we're going to talk
Wait,
about
which
I was in
video?
the right.
Oh, God.
It's true.
Most controversial.
You have to.
Oh,
You have to imagine being Nurse Reno just for a second. Just for a second. Just close your eyes. 5 games of dealing with that.
That's how you chew up a half an hour of content.
And
I mean,
that's
you
the
give a
Meme River
point.
game. That's the Meme River game.
The gaps in your life.
It's
Yeah.
rough. It was
I
rough.
can understand how a man would be erratic after a while, after having to deal with that much bullshit.
Well, I mean, it's I took it and I went my own way with it. Okay, so like Gawk was a good guy, but you know some people are better for hosting than others. I'm not going to say I am better, but I like to think I am. So,
well, you're the first
and it's
host
because I
who's
learned.
ever gone on a little country to be neutral in rule disputes. First person who has ever done that. And that was a direct spawn of the Meme River campaign where you had trouble and felt you had a biased host. You also have the Rage Quit clause.
Oh, yeah, I like to think that that's my own little bill of rights for my little players.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
You can leave whenever. So.
Honestly, just change its name and instead make the rules be like the Constitution of the Ooze Court or something, and then call it the actual Bill of Rights. That would be pretty cool.
I can't take credit for writing them though. It's kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of rule sets, and then we kind of remove and add to it as we see fit. But the Rage Quit clause ain't going anywhere. I think it's too strong. Like I wish I would kill for something like that when I was playing for like Cynical or Munch's games or even Gox games. Like I wish I could just quit and not have that, held against me. So I think it's a good thing.
It depends, I guess. What I've seen,
I think Zombie's about to mention the other side of the Rage Quit clause, which is that people rage quit too quickly with it. Isn't that what you're going to say?
Kind of, but not really. So what I was trying to say is, with a Rage Quit clause, it depends on how effectively you can replace the players. Because if your game relies heavily on the personality of each individual player, if you have too many of them rage quit, the diplomacy can crumble together or crumble.
That's true, especially if it's a big player like Britain or Russia quitting at an opportune time. And the roster, at least my rosters, I actually try to like seriously balance them in certain areas with players of equivalent skill level. I spend a long time on the rosters, but when someone quits, then I have to fill a niche. Like if Germany quits, I'm not going to mention any of the thing, but then I had to put someone inside of Germany that I didn't balance Europe around. So then I don't know how that's going to be. It's kind of, he's doing well though. I think he's doing well. He's playing as he should play. I'm not going to name any names. So I think it's a lot better than it could have been if I put someone else there and they underperformed or they're shit at Diplo or something like that. And then the whole balance of Europe just falls through. So that is true in that regard. However, I also kind of throw new players in all the time to kind of sink or swim. And that's a good opportunity. It's like, hey, you got a hard situation here. Prove yourself.
It was just like your new player Great Power game, which was a really good game. That one that I streamed.
I like this.
That one that I streamed on my Twitch, where I streamed Victoria 2 campaigns.
That kind of was the concept of also the Bad Frank game, but that didn't go.
It was, yeah, you're
as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot that was the actual thing, the actual policy.
Yeah, that was the concept.
Yeah. I actually think that a new player GP game can be good, as been proven, but I think one of the main potential failings of it that I've seen happen is if the good players that are minors are too manipulative, they can essentially control the game indirectly. Like,
and that's actually intended. That's intended. Like, at least that's what I base it on. Is I do want the whole point that I looked at it is I feel like quote unquote experienced players are at a level where mechanically they've plateaued. Okay, so like they're kind of going against the same players, the same kind of Diplo blocks and the original core group. So the idea there is to throw them onto those secondary and belows, so they have to depend more on their Diplo game instead of, my voice is cracking, on their Diplo game instead of their individual skill or whatever nation that they got. So that is to help them hone that kind of ability. So, and then the newer players are the ones you would put on the GPs who are only experienced with being somebody's bitch. Now it's their opportunity. They have the power to say yes or no to the manipulation of a more experienced player. And it has been done. People have turned on and killed the experienced players that were trying to manipulate them. It's I think it's way more colorful. And because I think anything that feeds into the Diplo game makes for a better experience. Because honestly, at the end of the day, the game's very limited. Like it's a beautiful game, but your potential for growth, it's pretty limited. So, but the Diplo game is everything. It's like 90% of the game. Yeah, you can absolutely suck at this game and still quote unquote win on Diplo alone. So, and I think that's what more people should focus on. You should focus on back.
I've never seen anyone who sucks at the game do well in Diplo though. Has anyone got any examples?
It's true. They're usually that's true. That's true. And there's some people that kind of plateau and just fail with diplomacy. So it happens a lot.
I think it's an interesting side, because what I considered before was that if you have all these minor players controlling big GPs. Like I've actually seen this happen a bunch of times, both in other games and my games. It can get fairly cancerous if they are ripe for manipulation. But you do bring up a good point that it increases their resistance towards manipulation, and then could create better games after that. Because if people are more resistant to manipulation, you get more fluid diplo. So I do agree with that.
We are actually 10 minutes away from the announcement. I think before we say goodbye to the special guests, I'm going to go through
money
them
or
and
your
ask them
life.
each the one thing they want in Victoria 3. That would be what a good talk show or streamer person did. That's like typical, Anyway, we're going to start from the top. Asquith, your number one feature of Victoria 3.
Oh, I would like a better netcode so it doesn't go out of sync and all that as well.
Yeah, Nurse Reno. Don't take too long.
Yeah, no, I just want the same sphere system. I want the same core, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. I think that, I think that would be beneficial. Like, the economy is so beautiful as it is, I can't really see it being any better.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Piechucker, we're going to talk extensively. Special guest, Zombie, what do you think? What's your number one thing?
I think they should. I just think they're almost exactly the same as Nurse Reno. They should keep the economy, but have hot join and better netcode.
Yeah, to be honest, that's exactly what all multiplayer Vic 2 players say is they just want better multiplayer. The game's fine as it is. Right.
And a 64-bit EXE so you can play CWE without crashing.
I don't know about CWE.
I want to play CWE without crashing.
Okay, guys, special guest, thank you very much. That was a good discussion. I should actually do something like that again because it was pretty good. But anyway,
goodbye, people.
Asquith, Reno, Zombie, thank you very much. Let's see if they announce Victoria 3.
See you later. Good having us all.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Disconnect yourselves. I won't disconnect you.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh my. Okay. Right. We're 8 minutes off. We've had an amazing discussion with our special guests. Because the main thing I like about that discussion was that I could just let them go at it while I didn't talk in front of 1,300 people. How many viewers do we have, and how many viewers does Paradox have?
1,406 viewers for us, 1,433 for them.
Oh,
so
we're so close. Come on. Get more. I turned my mic up.
Like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream.
Like the stream. I think my mic is, I don't know, it kind of peaked there where I raised my voice, but I think we're okay. Paradox, those guys probably have better audio setup than me because they're professionals. They're a massive corporation, and I'm just one absolute idiot sitting in his room. But
Tyranny was great though.
I have an $80 headset that I got the other day from the warehouse.
$80,
So it's
that's actually pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's better than, I don't know. My last one was taped up. It's taped up and it was like 5 years old. It was the Tyler 1 headset that I was rocking before, but 13,000. They have 13,000 views on. Oh, that's terrible. So he said everyone downvote the Paradox stream.
Oh no, they have 13k on Twitch. No. I think Tommy K is doing coverage of ParadoxCon as well. He's probably got loads of viewers. I wonder who else is doing a live stream of it.
I have to say, I'm starting to feel pretty hyped now.
Yeah.
Not because of their stream. Their stream is very not hype, but I'm looking at this chat and I'm getting racked up.
Yeah, this chat's amazing. And
One Proud Bavarian is doing a stream.
Oh, nice. Well, he's all right. My chat is amazing. Twitch. Does the Paradox have a chat on Twitch? Because they don't have one on YouTube.
I think they'd have to have one on Twitch, surely. Let's go look.
I mean, well, yeah, obviously they do, I guess. That's a silly question. But they don't have one on YouTube, and that's my main point. They don't have a chat. But we do.
No stress at all.
Someone is saying in the chat, dislike Paradox's YouTube stream. Don't dislike them.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do that. That's rude.
Just like our one. There you go.
Yeah, just like you don't have to bring anyone down to bring us up. You know?
People are just spamming 3 in the Twitch stream for Paradox. Just 3s.
Oh yeah, because they're not allowed to say Victoria. You're allowed to say Victoria in my chat. And you should all say it. You should all say Victoria 3.
We have my panel.
Give Victoria your energy.
Constant threes and constant message deleted by
Oh
moderator.
my god, the absolute state. I got quite a few extra mods because I anticipated a high viewership. Not as much as I have, but we do have a high viewership, so I got more mods in, and obviously I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen my mods do anything, which is not... I'm not saying the mods are doing nothing, I'm saying we've got no problems. We've got a really good chat, as always.
Yeah, no, we don't have any problems. Wow, look at the chat.
No, don't spam
Holy
3,
shit.
spam Victoria 3. That's what I mean. On the Paradox Twitch, they have to spam 3 because they're not allowed to say Victoria. My point is, you're allowed to say Victoria here. Come on, work it out, guys. Oh my god.
And then just revealing all the stuff.
Yeah, revealing everything.
Let's turn...
We're coming into 5 minutes now.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
Let's
guys.
turn them up on the Paradox stream and see what they're saying.
Can we get everyone to stay hydrated?
Yeah.
Remember to stay
Oh yeah, stay hydrated. I'm staying hydrated.
Stay
I've got a beer.
hydrated.
I've got a beer right here. Are you having a coffee this morning?
Like everybody at home already knows.
I've got a wee coffee here and some water.
Please drink your water, everyone. For the love of all that's holy, drink your water. I can't stress this enough. Get up.
You're about to announce your next major release, and you're talking about staying hydrated.
I guess.
Yep.
Drink your electrolytes, kids.
Oh god, that was a good grandpa voice.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Good. It was good.
Get your vitamins, your chewable vitamins in. I can. What? Come on,
No,
man.
I'm just slowly, spending more, just like every second. I think a brain cell.
I think
every time
I've turned it back down again.
Okay.
That joke.
God.
Yeah.
But we're getting so close, we kind of have to leave it up because they're about to announce
How
it.
are
But
you even
I'll
here?
turn it
I
down.
don't know.
I've made so many.
My brain is putty.
Yeah.
I was tuning into their stream a little bit throughout the day, and she's been there the whole time, I think. So, yeah, I think she's been the main host.
She seems to be a much better host. Like, she seems to be a bit more charismatic and...
Well, look, they're obviously extremely nervous. I'm not shit talk. I would never shit talk this host or anything. We're not making.
Oh, I'm
fun
not
of
shit.
them.
I'd be
Absolutely
nervous
not.
as all
I'm
hell.
nervous, and I'm not even showing my face. Actually, I am down on the bottom right, giving my live reaction there.
You got a tiny little countdown, just to prepare stuff.
The
3
chat is going
3
mental,
minutes.
just non-stop Victoria
That's what I
3s.
want. Spam Victoria 3 chat, please.
I think we can get even more. I think this chat can go faster. Let's break YouTube. 3 minutes to go. Come on, guys.
Oh my god.
Right.
I'm hyped. I'm excited for this.
I mean, I would say you guys to like go nuts.
I'm not exactly hyped. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not. I'm just if it is Victoria 3, I'm obviously skeptical about the
Your
quality
money or your
and all
life.
that. Like we were saying before.
This is it.
I mean, just
I think it's just the energy. Yeah, the energy feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what happens, this has been fun.
Has been. I'm just. Oh, they're doing the water thing again. Man, they really don't have much to talk about. Doing the water one again.
Prepare your body for the shock that is going to be the.
She said it's going to be a shock.
Gotta get the full body touch the toe.
Doesn't that? If it's going to be a shock, doesn't that mean it's what we don't expect it to be?
V's, they're making V's with the hands. V for Victoria.
Did they?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yep, and their stretches.
And I hope everybody at home is ready, because like, it's gonna be so much fun.
It's
We
gonna be
worked
fun.
so hard on this.
It's finally happening.
Well, you worked hard on Imperative Rome as well. Doesn't mean it's going to be
Jokes
good.
Are gonna happen, guys. It's not even gonna be fun. And, like, we're gonna make so many jokes that are just gonna lose flavor at the end of it.
Immediately.
Okay, I'm going to keep the volume up.
It's like that piece of cheap
Live
gum in the
reaction.
grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, right here on Spudgun Official, the best coverage of the Paradox announcement by far. Highly organised, highly professional.
Have fun, everybody. And
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1 minute.
Okay, all right, we're about there. We're almost there.
All right, here we go.
I hope they can still hear me above this. I think the volume is fine. I think the audio is fine, and they can still hear you. Your EU4 DLC money went into that amazingly produced intro. Okay, shut up. Okay, this is the thing. Here we go. Alright, it's a countdown. Your EU4 DLC money went into this amazing production. Into this countdown. Okay.
Welcome to the PDXCON Remixed Announcement Show. Now entering the remix is your host for the evening, the CEO of Paradox Interactive, Ebba Jungerud.
Yeah!
Wow, this is different. I wasn't sure what to expect from a digital PDXCon, but now when I'm here, actually maybe it's not that different. I mean, it's different in a few ways. First of all, you're not here. I miss the energy from you, the audience, but it's also different in a nice way.
You're not going to miss the booing if you don't
house.
release
I get
Victoria
to
3.
put on some nice clothes, not just walk around in my ugly activewear all the time. It's certainly been a year. We launched CK3 in the middle of this. I can't believe we
That's
actually
been rehearsed a couple of times,
It feels like just a couple of days
Unlike
ago
this
that King
stream,
Hendrik and I were
unlike me,
standing on
you,
stage
like,
in Berlin
she's
announcing
actually
the game.
rehearsed and prepared.
But here we are. No
Yeah,
matter what it
it's worked out well for something
takes,
that
and
we've
no
pulled
matter
together
what virtual world
as we've got along.
I have to travel to make this happen. I am so proud and happy to get to host this announcement show for you. I just love that we
1,600 people are watching us now, Spud.
Very nice. I mean, how can I even? I can't. Is my viewer count that great when I have like way more subscribers? I've got enough subscribers to have 19,000 viewers.
Virtual
Yeah,
or
it's
not.
fine.
This is going to be a different show for sure, but I think you will like what we have got. I'm not going to go on for too long here in the beginning.
Okay,
I know
good.
you're
That
eager
would
to
be
get
that
to
would
the
be a big
games,
cheer
but
in
I
the
want
crowd
to
if there
take
was
this
one.
opportunity to thank all of you for joining this new spin of PDXCon. For me, PDXCon is really about three things, and I don't want us to miss any of those. The first one is the games, which we've got here today.
Three
So don't
things,
worry,
Spud.
we got
Three
that part
things.
covered. The number two,
Three
second part,
things:
that's our
Diplo
teams and
mana,
staff.
military mana,
We have
admin
worked
mana.
very hard all this time to bring games out to you. I have to admit, it has been a little bit harder than usual. But I also miss seeing everyone in the office chatting around the coffee machine. So I'm very happy to have some of you here today to join and
Why
talk about
is it
what
this
you've
kind
been
of
working on.
landscape? Why are there rocks?
Most
That doesn't
importantly, of course,
speak
number
Victoria
three,
3.
you
Should be in
are
the smog
players.
of
As I
factories
said,
in
it's
Victorian
better
England.
to have you here in person, and you've
I think
told
it's
us that
Surviving
one of
Mars
the
that-
main
that,
reasons you come to PDXCon is to
their
meet
new
with
IP.
us.
Isn't
We
that
feel
already a
exactly
thing?
Last year, I
the same
think.
way.
They're
Just to
releasing
bounce
that
ideas
again?
and discuss what's going on.
Anyway.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah, maybe
I'm glad
maybe
we're
it's a
able
joke
to do
about
this as a
quarantine or something like
digital
that. I'm not
event.
sure.
But I do want you all to know that my goal and my ambition is that we can go back to having a live and physical PDXCon as soon as possible. I can't wait to see you all there. So, narrator, announcement person, where are you? Are you still there?
It's physically impossible for me to leave.
Okay, that's very
Okay.
concerning. But let's get this show on the road. It's time to talk about what's coming next for Crusader Kings 3.
Quality.
Are they doing, what is it, CK3 DLC?
Now entering the game director for Crusader Kings 3. Welcome to the remix, Alexander Altner.
Hi, Alex. Welcome
Hey!
to our beautiful court.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So last time, when you were on PDX Insider, you talked about Northern Lords, our first flavor pack for Crusader Kings, and now you're here to announce the first expansion. Can you
Yeah,
tell
they
us a
are
bit more?
announcing some DLC.
Absolutely. First, to recap, we have released the Ruler Designer, free for everyone who plays CK3.
Oh, that was really
and,
good.
as you mentioned, Northern Lords, where you got to experience life in Scandinavia and lots of Viking adventures. But now we are ready to announce the first major expansion that adds a new
Is this a new
layer of
announcement?
gameplay and
Is this,
drama to
something
the
else that
upper
they announced,
echelons of the ruling.
It's probably they'll be announcing.
So me being a bit
They'll
of
be
an
adding some
insider,
CK2
I have heard
features to
that
CK3.
there's a lot of both political intrigue and mysterious motivations in this expansion. And we also have a trailer to show just how involved life in
Alright, a
court
trailer
can
for
be.
CK3, okay. Here we go. Oh, is this TOS?
It is not enough to simply
They're streaming it, so I'm sure it's fine.
power. One must display it. This wedding does not merely represent the union of two
People are asking for a
mighty
rehost.
houses. It's a show of power. Our court is a grand stage, a tribute to our might.
Shovel Face Part 2.
Scene set.
Announced right here on ParadoxCon.
In this grandest of
Fuck.
schemes.
I mean, I'd love that. That multiplayer game was
I
fantastic.
know, I still have, well, it's, all the VODs are obviously there, so I will do that someday. I need to finish that.
Bitter defeat. Our revenge.
You're gonna pepper in some Spudgun announcements as we go along.
Well, we've got to,
One
we've got
day.
to find references to my videos anywhere so I can.
Real strategy.
Real strategy
Requires cunning.
requires cunning. Okay, royal court. All right.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So
that
what
was
is the
amazing.
most
Come on,
iconic
get on
image
with it.
of a medieval ruler you can think of?
This room, perhaps?
Indeed, it's a ruler on their throne surrounded by vassals and courtiers. This represents the grandeur of the monarch, how powerful they are, who they can surround themselves with. So you will be able to enter your own throne room and interact with numerous systems, all to further your own political power and agenda. There will be drama between courtiers.
It's like Mountain Blade.
There will be exhibitions of
Yeah.
wealth.
Are
And
they
you will be
adding?
able to deliver
You
justice,
can actually walk about in
much
the
more.
court now.
To this end, we bring
That'd be,
you.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I always loved that in Mountain Blade.
The Royal
Yeah,
Court
Mountain Blade,
sounds,
right there.
very,
It's already
very
been
good.
done.
And being
It's
able
already
to
Mountain
sit,
Blade.
in the
Now
seat
give
of
us victory.
power, doling out rewards as the ruler of your very own court. That kind of sounds like a dream come true. Is that it, or do we have even more things in this expansion?
It is certainly part of it. So kings and emperors will have their own royal court, their throne room.
Yeah.
And in that, they can decide to hold court, inviting the vassals of the realm to air their grievances and come with petitions. And this has major impacts on the realm.
Okay.
But there is more. So the royal court
This
is
has
the
major
embodiment
impacts on the
of
realm. The
your
king will simply
power,
say,
grandeur,
when he receives his
royal
petitions
majesty,
about EU4
you will be
Leviathan,
judged by your
it's
peers
the community
based on its
that's out of
grandeur.
touch
What
and toxic.
artifacts do you have on display? How much are you spending on your
Petition
court in the
denied.
form of lodgings or food or clothes? And the more you
Yeah, that was a whole
spend,
thing, wasn't
the
it? I don't
more
know whether we get into that, but that was a whole thing.
Okay, guests. That sounds very intriguing. Will the guests, will they impact the court in very big sweeping ways, or is it more minute changes that comes from this?
So the guests will have
Now,
something
that's the
called an
CEO of
inspiration,
Paradox
which
there.
means
I
that they want to
googled her
do or
before
make
this.
something.
I did my
But they
research.
can't do it by
Her
themselves.
background
They
in
need your patronage.
industry is
Okay, and
gambling.
if I become a patron, how
And I
does
mean
that,
actual gambling.
Oh dear.
Me as a ruler?
So there are different
Like
types
online
of
gambling.
inspirations. For
Microtransactions?
example, there are adventurers that want
And
to
now
go
she's
and hunt
sitting
a
here
mighty
talking to
beast
this
or
guy
find a
about
lost artifact.
intrigue in
But
courts
there are also
and
smiths
CK3.
and weavers and scholars and many more. They all want to create
Victoria
something
3, where you
that can
have
either
to
put
pay a
into your
microtransaction to
inventory,
get a
your
grant.
personal inventory, or into your court to further your grandeur.
Okay, very interesting guests indeed. If I
Just
understand
like my
correctly,
streams,
this
very
expansion
interesting
also
guests.
contains a big overhaul of the cultural system.
Yes, I mean, what is a ruler without their subjects,
Yeah.
after all?
True.
So this is likely the most exciting thing for a lot of players. Cultures, instead of being static, now have pillars such as language and heritage,
Okay.
and the traditions that set them apart from each other. They also have dynamic
interesting.
attitudes where happenings
Yeah.
in the world will make
Remember
cultures
when,
like
remember
this
when the
happen.
two people were sitting in the
And
last
as
bit
CK3
of the stream,
covers
they were
half
talking
a
about how they can see
millennium
all the
of
resident
history,
sleepers in the chat.
cultures of old would be barely
Yeah.
recognizable
I
for us
think
today.
I don't know what
Yeah,
the
of
Twitch
course.
chat
And
for Paradox is
they
like right
changed
now,
and
but
evolved over
probably
time.
quite a few of them.
And to that end, we have introduced two new systems to represent this:
It's
divergence
nothing but
and
Victoria
hybridization.
3, isn't it? Yeah, nothing
I
but Victoria 3.
can't wait to get my hands on this, I have to say, and I know our community will feel the same. So is there a release date for this expansion?
Unfortunately, we cannot tell you
do you think she
when
plays
the Royal
Crusader
Court will
Kings
be
3?
released.
Okay.
But know this, we're hard at work
no.
on it.
I don't think so.
First,
chance,
we will
sir.
finish the Azure patch.
And that's a free update.
Yes,
Not,
released
I'm
during
not.
this summer.
CK3 isn't bad or anything.
And
It's fine.
until the
And
release
this
of Royal
DLC
Court,
is
Yeah, it's just a pretty
we will
solid
have
launch.
lots
Yeah,
of
pretty
dev
solid
guides
launch.
detailing Royal Court
Just,
features.
this
Just a
isn't
bit
just
bare
like
bones at the moment,
exciting.
so-
Good luck
expecting
with
them to
this
announce right now. I thought they were going
endeavor
straight
that
into a
you're
game
on.
announcement.
I know that you also have a lot of stuff planned for this weekend, the PDXCON Remixed. Is there anything in particular that you want to highlight?
Yes, two things. The Trials and Tribulations panel and the Crusade Anything Q&A. Both of them have CK3 devs, so it will be
I just
very
got
interesting
informed
to
that
see
the amount of message deleted
Well,
in the
thank you.
Twitch ParadoxCon chat is
Thank
huge.
you, as always, for being here, Alex. Very nice to
Yeah, I had looked
chat
before, it's
about
mental.
Crusader Kings 3.
Happy to be here.
And we hope to see all of you in the community online, and we look forward to ruling our futures together.
Okay.
She's actually done a pretty good job of not being super awkward.
That's fine.
Now
Like, she's
advancing
a pretty
hundreds
decent
of years
interviewer,
into
yeah.
the future to the city of Chicago. Entering the remix is the CEO.
Chicago,
of
1840,
Alright,
in the height of the Civil
Empire
War.
of Sin, Brenda Romero.
Brenda, hello. Welcome to our beautiful 20s Chicago.
Well, it's wonderful to be here on the other side of this floating monitor.
Well, welcome to the remix. How have you been?
Busy. We have all been hustling lately on updates and the new stuff we've put into Empire of Sin over the last few months. So our players have responded really well to changes like combat auto-resolve and
what
the
is
safe
this?
house changes
She's getting,
and all the
yeah,
balancing.
she's getting paid a lot of money. That's a pretty fantastic looking fireplace.
Oh, I mean, I was just wondering, what are they even talking
some
about?
really major changes. I have to say,
Empire of
I think this is one
Sin.
of the coolest
I haven't
things
played
with
it.
our
Neither
games.
have I.
I think they're done. And,
I think it's a
you think
Paradox
that there
published
won't be
game. I
any
don't know
more
if
additions.
they
Then the devs
developed
come
it.
back and they've done something completely new, and it's almost a new experience.
It's kind of like a
Then
real-time
if I were to tell you that we're
mafia
about to make
management
some
type
more
game.
major
Seems kind of
updates to
interesting.
Empire of Sin, you'd enjoy that news?
Yeah, I think I would be okay with that, yes.
Are they announcing
Awesome.
a DLC
So
for it?
where do I even start? I guess, first of all, we're 100% committed to making Empire of Sin as great as it be, both to improve what's
I think
already
she
out
messed
there
up that
and add
sentence.
some new exciting things that you haven't
She
seen
said
before.
we're committed to making
So it's
Empire
great
of
that I
Sin
get
as
to
good
confirm
as it
both
be.
of these today. And let's
I
take a
think she
look
meant to say as
at
good as it
our
can be.
next big update for starters,
Corp-
because we're
corporate
making
tactics.
some major changes in what we call the
If it's not good,
precinct
they'll
update.
play the tape back and she'll say that I never said it.
Sure. So one of the central features of the game we're working
I
to
just
update in the precinct update
got another super
is
chat, but I
Empire
missed what it
management.
said.
And to do
And I don't
this,
even know
we're
what
introducing
currency
a new
that's in.
concept to Empire of
ARS.
Sin called,
I have no idea.
be a
Yeah,
surprise,
Argentina
precincts.
perhaps, or
Could be.
Armenia.
Precincts
Armenia
allow
or
you to manage your
Argentina.
neighborhoods in large areas.
I've got it
rather
here.
than
The
worry
only
about
sin worth
each
an
individual
empire is the
building.
fact
So you can
that I still
upgrade
don't know if we're getting
several
Yes,
Victoria 3.
absolutely.
global changes. And precincts also
That's
help you set up
Munilux,
supply
I think.
lines and
That's the
create
pronunciation.
Go and Google what
defensible
ARS
perimeter.
currency is, Piechucker.
Okay, so to me that sounds like a pretty substantial
my live
addition from a
research.
strategic point
Your
of view.
money or your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Argentine
this
Oh, it
means you
is
can
Argent.
cut off
And
your
what's
rival's
the
supplies
conversion
and
rate?
take
So I
over a
got 100
precinct
of them.
or
Thank
two
you very much
between
for that.
theirs. So we really think it's going to improve how Empire of Sin plays, both in strategy and in Empire management once your turf starts to grow. So we're also proud to announce
100
that
Argentine
Empire of
pesos
Sin,
is 75
with the
pence.
precinct update, is
Oh.
going to add a feature that makes
I
Paradox
thought you were about to
players
say 75
very, very
pounds.
happy.
Okay, so that must be
Yeah,
Sweden
no,
overpowered.
the Argentine peso
I don't
doesn't
know how
seem
you
to be
know these
particularly
things.
strong.
We set up an outpost in Chicago. Absolute confirmed.
See the old pound sterling.
Actually, it is mod support.
Any Kiwis in
okay, well
chat?
that's just as good.
Well,
we love mods.
Get some Kiwi dollars.
No, they're all
money.
asleep,
The
Piechucker.
precinct,
Apart from Sailor Mary
precinct
and you.
update is going to open up modding for PC players, and we're eager
I'm sure
to
there
see
must be
how
other
the community
Kiwis. You must
plans
have
to tell
Kiwi
their own
viewers.
stories and to make Empire of Sin their own.
Okay, yeah, that sounds amazing. So when are we going to be able to play this new update?
Well, we're planning on launching.
Now the chat is just
precinct
coming in
update
for the
alongside something
Argentine
else
pesos
we're
incident.
excited about, and
The chat
for
is really
that,
delayed
I'd
for
like
me,
to show you
unfortunately.
our newest trailer.
There is quite a bit of a delay, yeah.
Oh, what are they doing? Oh, is this Empire of Sin? Look, Romero Games, there you go. That's the actual developer. Paradox published, right?
Blood of Chicago. And there's always opportunities to make a buck in this town. You know.
Your money or your
Fix
life.
it. Need a loan or help smoothing over a little relationship problem? Want to make sure your competition leaves town quietly. In this city, you gotta take what you want. Go ahead, make a move.
That's a really efficient way
Just
to
remember,
execute someone secretly.
You better make it count.
Yeah. So if it's Romero Studios, do you think it's got any relation to George Romero, the director?
No.
Yeah, so Make It Count is our first premium expansion for Empire of Sin, and it's going to bring a whiskey barrel of new content to the game. So The trailer
That'd be pretty cool.
obviously
No, it
just a
doesn't. I agree with
tease,
it.
but soon we'll have much more to share with you. New missions, new items, new rackets, and
New
more.
rackets.
So
What's this?
right now I want
Tennis,
to introduce you to the
Tennis
game's
Simulator
new boss,
2021.
Meyer
Am I right,
Lansky.
guys?
So Lansky was known as the mob's accountant. He succeeded through his financial know-how, and he even developed the criminal syndicates in Atlantic City. So you know he's as good with a gun as he is with numbers.
Very interesting. But so you mean that he's the boss?
Where is
that
Atlantic City? Is that
New
better
Jersey.
with the profits than the violence?
New Jersey? Yeah.
Well, he's definitely very good at both. He
Your money or your
offers
life.
choices on how
Oh,
he might take
fantastic.
over
We've got a
Chicago,
super chat
and
from
he wouldn't be a proper Empire
Sailor Mary.
boss
Modest
if
Kiwi
he
money
didn't
representation,
also have
10 New Zealand dollars.
combat
Thank you very
bonus.
much.
So he's definitely got more than
New
one
Zealand
way
is
to close the deal.
overrepresented
Okay,
on this
Brenda, I
stream.
really want to meet this guy. I also want to see the
Not
updates on all
overrepresented,
the
not at
other
all.
bosses. So tell me, when
Dedicated
can we
Kiwi
play
fan
this?
base right here.
Oh no, the chat's
Naked
just coming in for my
Count
joke,
and the
bad jokes.
Precinct
Bad.
Update
Oh
are
god.
both planned to debut.
Oh, I killed it.
Okay, brilliant,
Dennis-
Brenda.
Dennis
I just lost
Empire?
200 viewers to
Do you have
Paradox.
anything
Oh
else for our
no.
Empire of Sin fans that you want to share?
Yeah, actually, plenty more. So we've got all kinds of panels this weekend that the Romero Games team is helping out with, and I am especially eager to chat with our fans during our Q&A tomorrow. All the details, of course, are on the PDX Remix schedule.
They are indeed. Brenda,
sounds like they're
thank
wrapping
you
this
so
up.
much. Always a pleasure to see you, and I hope to see you
Yes.
very soon again.
Yes, they're over with it.
There you
It's
have
done.
it. The first expansion and update
Now what's
coming
next?
for Empire of Sin later this year.
It rains a lot in Victoria and
They've
England.
cut out,
Confirmed.
They've cut our mic off. All right, here
Is
we
this
go.
it?
What's next?
No.
Is a rifle.
This better
No,
be
it's
it.
not.
Come on.
This
What
is
use is ammunition
High 4, look.
in the hull of a sunken ship? A
Soy
good
4,
general
here we go.
knows There is no strategy without logistics. For what use are 2,000 fit and well-trained
Your money or your
soldiers
life.
if they're marching in the wrong direction?
I got
Over
another
5
super
years,
chat there. I don't know what it
millions of
said.
Hours of gameplay have simulated every possible outcome of the second.
We've got a super chat from Matcha. I'm not even too sure if I read this, but the audacity of this person.
What?
$8 Australian. What's this New Zealand you talk about? Is that the state of Australia?
Well, I think Victoria 3 they might not even have New Zealand on the map. I don't know.
they cut it off the map.
On D-Day this year, we want to thank our players for
It's been done before in other games.
excellence. Looking ahead to future victories.
Alright, Hearts of Iron 4, 5-year anniversary, very good. Okay.
Your money
What's
or your
SEK,
life.
Spud, as a currency?
SEK. Swedish krona, definitely, right?
Mm. Yep, 50 Swedish krona from High Steel, or High Teal, sorry. The Jacobin Rebels have risen.
Thank you. Dan Lind, it's the High 4 guy that Tommy K memes.
Wow. Yep, I can't believe it's been 5 years
Yeah,
already.
but,
guys. It
This
kinda
guy,
feels like
67
almost
67 with
yesterday.
$5.
But,
I lose
guess time flies when you're having
$721
fun.
if Victoria 3 is now.
Tommy K's got to be
It's
taking the
good.
piss out of this guy right now,
basically
right?
how the
He's
game
talked about
started,
him
which was
before.
half of
The
the
High
email
4
page that
developer.
I sent to Johan and Fred.
Yeah,
for
he
some
gets a
feedback.
lot of shit.
And it outlined like the main things I wanted
He's
to do.
got a
with
tank
Hearts of Iron
designer on his
4.
t-shirt.
And for me, it was
Your money
I
or your
wanted to
life.
focus on industry, and I wanted to focus on equipment. I always really liked those aspects of the war. I also wanted it to be a game where you focused a lot more on the big planning aspects rather than micromanagement and things like that. And also after the
Micromanagement
modding
is
scene
what
on
fucking
Hoi
makes a
3
strategy
didn't
game.
really take
Come on.
off. I wanted Hoi 4 to be the Paradox game with the strongest, the best modding scene.
That's
So that was
Victoria
my
too.
focus.
There isn't a divergence
thinking
of
about
darkness for
back a
Hoi
bit
4, is
on
there?
development,
Didn't
I
think
guess
so.
the only
No,
thing
no
I
DID
really,
mod for
really
that.
regret
No,
is
no
the
rule.
fact that we
Britannia, didn't think
didn't
so.
use the whole marketing budget for tank. Because we
No
did
Napoleon's
seriously talk
Legacy
about
for
that,
Hearts of Iron 4.
and I still
Didn't
haven't
think
really
so.
given up
Nah,
hope.
Victoria
So
2 has the best
maybe
modern
one day.
community.
It's been a pretty intense 5 years since release.
Just lost Soy 4s in chat.
During that time, we listened a lot, we updated a lot, and we focused on pretty much all of the aspects of World War II.
Well,
we've been
as we discussed
expanding and
earlier, there's a lot
updating
they
both
missed.
Naval warfare, land warfare, air warfare.
Is that what
as
they're
well.
finally
Adding
adding?
new things
Never
like
mind. Forget it. No.
espionage,
No, forget
new
it.
old history paths.
Are they finally
and
adding it?
just-
No, fucking forget it.
And also,
No.
from like a modding scene perspective, it is so big now. There's thousands of mods.
We're pleased to
ton of really
announce
popular
Shut
brand new
up.
DLC for
It's
Hearts
so
of
great to see
Iron.
that, honestly. I still can't believe how big Hearts of Iron really has gotten, honestly, sometimes.
They have to
Anyways,
divert civilian
now that I'm
factories to
here,
it? No.
I want to take this
Done!
opportunity
Forget
to
it!
thank all of the
No,
developers
no
who
more,
worked
no
on
more,
it
no more,
for
no more.
over years,
No
right?
more.
There's
All right,
many
that's
of
enough.
us now. And I also want to thank all of the people in the community, the influencers, the modders, the players, because
Hey, I'm an influencer
you're
of
the
Hoi
guys
4.
that
I
made
streamed
the
it
game
twice.
great, and it's awesome. So, in fact, to celebrate that awesomeness for the anniversary,
We have, live in the
got a bunch of cool
studio,
planned
Tommy
activities.
K.
So,
Right?
for example,
Surely.
we're going to be doing a really cool.
No, that's never going to happen.
with
Poor
some
Dan
famous
seems to have gotten so much
to
shit
see
from that
who is
guy.
really the master of war there. And here at PDXCON, we're going to be running a bunch of cool panels as well, where you're going to be finding out both about the past and the future of Hearts of Iron. So I hope that's going to be really interesting. And that's actually all from me
Thank
today.
you, Michael Sanchez, for the
hope this
super
was
chat.
interesting, and I'll see you guys later.
Oh.
Wait,
He says, I've got to go to work shortly,
Okay, you know this
but
is an
how?
announcement
Oh, it's
show,
disappeared.
It's,
But how
right.
can I
Sorry.
when I haven't seen those fucking pops,
I know,
man?
people
We do
are
have
probably
one more
like
thing,
planning
actually.
things. They thought
Roll
they'd
the
get
clip,
the
guys.
announcement. They thought they would get the announcement on the hour. And now we have to wait through all this. But I get it, they're building it up. They're building it up. Whatever.
Got another clip.
This is their Soy 4 DLC.
Your money or your life.
No step back.
Okay.
It's kind of based, actually.
All right. Consider that a little teaser for No Step Back, the next expansion for Hearts of Iron 4. It's going to be focusing on the Soviet Union. It's going to be focusing on the Eastern Front.
It's be focusing on infrastructure.
Doesn't the Hearts of Iron 4
You're going to be
community
able
want
to
an
modify your
Italian
military in
Isn't
new
that what
cool
they
ways.
want? I've heard that,
And it's a
but I don't
brand
know.
new supply
I think a
system
Soviet one as well. I don't
trains
think there's been a
railroads as well.
Soviet updated one since
if you
launch.
guys wanna
If
know
I'm-
more
I don't know
about
if I'm
this,
correct there. I don't really play
We
Hearts of
actually
Iron all that much.
have several panels.
Your money or your
We'll be
life.
telling you guys a bit more details and
Thank
cool
you,
stuff.
Aerial Batman.
So I hope I get to see you guys there.
Okay, is the Hoi 4 bit done?
Area Batman says, is it too much to ask for one new game?
Joining the remix is the
Is this
community
it?
manager for
Oh,
City
City
Skylines.
Skylines. Okay. That better not be the game. I mean, come on.
Hi, Helena, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. The city is awesome.
I know, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
If they're releasing shit for City Skylines 1, then it won't be City Skylines 2, so that'll be pretty good.
Yeah,
Just give
actually,
us the
we do
City
have some
Skylines
surprises.
DLC
We have
and
heard the
don't
community
make it
loud
City
and clear.
Skylines
You
2.
want more content for City Skylines. So we're here to give it
Okay,
to you.
right.
We've reached out to two incredible content creators
Spudgun
who have created two brand new content creator packs.
Oh, cool.
It's exciting news, I know, but why keep talking about
They've
it?
added
Let's watch
Twitter
some
to the
videos.
game, so they're going to add Reddit now. What's the next update?
This is Earl Gibb, and you're
Oh
listening
my god,
to
I'm just
Sunny
seeing the
Breeze.
chat. Oh
Kick
my...
back or sit
Chat.
down and relax.
I'm seeing the chat about...
I just saw the chat, that's terrible. Behave yourselves. Oh, there we go, we just cracked 2,000
2,000 viewers.
2,000 viewers.
Wow. I don't know, just...
I reckon a Spudgun chill City Skylines stream. Is
You're
it a game that
actually
you-
right. I
played?
should definitely stream that. You're right. That's a good idea. I like City Skylines.
Have you played it
Yeah,
before?
I've played it a little bit, yeah. It's good.
I played a hell of a lot of SimCity 5 when it first came out. What was I can't even remember what year that is. Ages ago. I played a little bit of City Skylines.
Bridges and Piers. Content creator pack by
This is Jane Ace.
Bad
You're listening to Railhawk Radio.
Train stations. Did they not have train stations in the game already? Is this new?
7 new bridges. Oh, 10 new bridges.
All this stuff is in mods though. There's so much modded shit. They've got. I'm sure they made bridges in mods, and train stations in mods, right? I know, chat. They're all spamming Zeds. I know. We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
City Skylines Barbarossa. Fuck.
Train
There's
stations
occasionally a
and
couple of
bridges
good
and
chats now.
piers. very fun. When will I be able to play?
Well, that's actually the best part. Both CCPs
Both
are available
CCPs?
right now, today, on all platforms.
Very cool. Can't wait to get home and play. Tell me a bit more
She's
about
not
what's in them.
there's no chance she's actually going to play.
For train
what's she talking
stations, we
about?
brought on Bad Peanut,
I
who is
can't
a
wait to get home
longtime
and
community
play.
creator. He's actually
No
so
way.
talented that he's now working
Yeah,
with
she's got a lot of playing ahead of her. CK3 and City
And
Skylines.
whatever the actual game is,
elevated and underground.
announcing, she's
They're
gonna play that
super
too.
modern and super cool.
Great. What about
she almost has no time to
Yeah,
actually
that
be the
one was
CEO of a
created by
company with all these
Andres,
games that
aka
she's
our
making.
Mesto. You might remember him from our
And definitely play it.
City
I
Builder
feel like
series we did a while
like Victoria.
He
Not sorry,
created
Victoria 3.
22
You can
unique
tell what I've got on my mind.
assets,
Rent free.
that come in a variety of
There's
styles to fit
but City Skylines. I feel like that'd be a
any
game
type
that a
of
CEO would
city's
play.
waterfront.
Cool.
Yeah,
And then you
maybe.
mentioned 2 radio
Maybe.
stations?
Absolutely.
It's not very in-depth
We
or
wanted to
strategy.
connect the
It's
radio
actually
stations to
completely
game
different.
Exactly.
So we took our
Actual
inspiration
Paradox game. It's
for,
not. How is it's not even a
Rail
Paradox game.
Hawk Radio
It's not a grand
from our
strategy
train
game.
station,
It's not a
CCP,
strategy game.
And
It's
we
nothing
have
to do-
Sunny
it's a good
Breeze
game, but
Radio
it's nothing to
Station,
do with
which
damn
is inspired
Paradox.
by our Bridges and Piers, CCP.
Why do they
Very
keep talking
cool.
about the CCP
I am
chat?
very much looking forward to this, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
What about the future? Any other plans?
Yes, we want the community to know we are not done with cities. We
Okay,
will
they're not done
continue
with
supporting
cities.
our
Okay.
fantastic community with fun and engaging events. We
Lord
recently
Cato
concluded the
with the super
Berlin
chat. Thanks, mate. He
build-off
says
with the
new
Stadt
game is
Museum.
City Skylines
We
Victoria.
just finished
That's what
our,
Reno
the
was
last
talking about.
episode of our Meet the
One of
Expert
the
series
guests,
on
how they could
YouTube,
make-
which if you
add
haven't
city
checked it
design
out,
to
you should.
Victoria.
Our creative team did an amazing
Thank you for
job.
the super chat.
And currently we're working on an event with Red Bull. It's
Red
going to
Bull?
be a little bit later this year because we are working on a new approach.
Okay, so is this the competition you were hinting about when we were preparing?
Your money or
before?
your
It
life.
is. We'll be inviting some creators to participate in challenges that we came up with. It should be pretty fun and interesting.
Okay, cool. We'll check
Gathering
it out.
with the
And what about
$5.
this weekend?
Cheers,
PDXCON
mate.
Remixed.
Thank
What do you have planned?
We have lots planned. I myself
Your
will
money
be
or your
participating in
life.
our global build-off and the Where Are We live stream, but I'm also excited for the workshop on how to build assets, since we just worked on the CCPs, and
There
I'm
it is
excited for
again,
the
the
return of the
CCP.
Talk Cities to me.
That's all I'm getting from
Good
this.
stuff, good stuff. Anything else you want to mention?
Mostly, I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
From the entire City Skylines team. We've enjoyed working on the CCPs,
All right.
celebrating
Oh my
our
God.
6th
Moving on,
anniversary in
come on.
March, working on the Berlin build-off and
So
the Meet the
much
Expert
talk about the
series,
CCP.
and now working with Red Bull on an event for the community. It's been incredible, and we're looking forward to making even more memories with this amazing community. We do it all because you are awesome.
Yeah, I could not agree more. The community and you guys, that's really the reason why we're here, I think. All right, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
I mean,
have a
money.
good show.
Thank
It's
you for
probably the
having me.
main
I'm so
reason
excited
that
to
we're
be
all
here,
here.
and good luck with the rest of the announcement show.
Thank you very much. All right, halfway through,
Halfway through.
almost. How do you guys
Are they going to
think
do
it's
it in like the
going
last
so
10
far?
minutes of the hour?
Voiceover person, what do you think?
Surely not.
I'm contractually obligated to find this incredible.
Why did you sign a contract saying that?
He sounds like a big Paradox
Even more,
YouTuber.
why did you sign that? But okay, I actually think this is amazing. I think we have a fantastic set. We've been working super hard to do this digitally, never before for us.
He sounds like
So
a
at
Victor,
least
not
it's
Victor, but any
acknowledged
Paradox
fantastic
YouTuber
work
getting a
that's
new
gone into
DLC
this.
video.
I agree wholeheartedly with the
Here's
opinions
a new
expressed
review
by
for
the CEO
DLC.
of Paradox
I am
Interactive, Ebba
I don't know, any of
Jungeru.
the
Oh well, at
large
least I
Paradox
tried.
creators.
Let's just move and remix to the next game.
Consider it
Next game, okay,
remixed.
go.
And boom.
No, wait, where am I now? Why am I in a desert?
This is but one environment
Riley was
available in our
£5.
virtual
I just want the
set.
announcement of March of the Eagles 2. Just to everyone to explain disappointment.
Your money or your
She's
life.
getting randomly teleported to the Battle of Waterloo. Oh my god, where am I now?
Please,
Oh,
just get us to the right
I
background.
made a slightly
March of the
different
Eagles
desert. Okay,
2.
look, this machine is complicated and the tutorial was vague.
Did you check the wiki? Have you checked YouTube?
This
I made
has
the
to be
sand
it.
blue, that's cool. All right, look, I'm on the
That's not
forums.
enough.
I got a solution. This ought to do it. Okay. Nope, not fixed. 1 second.
Have you read the...
Oh, okay, I seem to be back now. Great. You know what, Voice in the Sky? Everyone deserves a second chance.
is this it? No, it's this is another thing, right?
Okay, first off, I know I ain't exactly been a model prisoner over the
They,
years.
I actually saw them talking about Prison Architect earlier in the day.
Your money
I
or
played
your
a ton
life.
of Prison Architect.
Before all
Yeah, it's a
those
good game. I've played it a little
rehabilitation
bit.
programs.
A few years ago.
The guys who developed it real funny. They had like a podcast or something. I remember watching that when I was.
Today,
I got another Argentinian super chat. Thank you. I don't know what it said. It went too fast though. Piechucker.
Can't believe this so far has been lackluster content and the CEO playing with their Fallout New Vegas Yes Man reference.
Well, there you go. There's an opinion from my chat.
Really?
Yeah, more. Oh, fuck it. Why put U's and N's in there? We're gonna call you Lux.
Now,
thanks,
breaking
mate.
into the remix from 011,
I got another Sutaya or something there. I missed the name.
Your money or your
Great
life.
to see you guys again for
Thank you so
PDXCon.
much.
He said.
Hey, Ebba, thank you so much for
Yeah, he
having
said,
us.
love the content, keep up the good work, lads.
It's nice to be back
Thanks,
with
buddy.
Prison Architect.
Exactly, Prison Architect. Tell
Okay.
us, what is
Prison
Second
Architect.
Chances?
All right. What is it?
Yeah, so Second Chances is the 5th expansion from Paradox and 011, and it brings an evolution to the game's reform and rehabilitation systems. Many players in Prison Architect will
Oh,
play
it's
their
not
games
Prison
focusing
Architect
on the
2? It's another
inmates who are
expansion?
reoffending
They're
rates
adding
through their prison
rehabilitation.
rehab and reform. So Second Chances introduces new.
They said that they were done with that game like
rehabilitation
3 years ago. They said they're not making anymore.
Facilities to aid your prisoners' reintegration into society. But if you mess up, reoffending prisoners may now return to your prison, and when they return, they can be even more badass than before.
Ah, okay. New reform programs. Sounds
You should have
good.
picked
Can you
something
tell
else to
us a
say
bit
other
more
than
about
badass
those?
there. Didn't sound
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah,
The new
Didn't
programs
come
are
out
great.
well.
Yeah, I don't
we
know.
have conflict
Everything.
resolution classes, which
No.
are led by former inmates
Whatever.
who've been
That's fine.
rehabilitated while serving time in your
I think
prison.
only Americans can get
There's
away with
also
saying that.
meet and greet sessions where your inmates can meet and mingle with members of the public. And then there is my personal favourite, of course, which is animal therapy classes, where the inmates can spend quality time petting dogs.
Okay, I love the furry friends thing. Maybe if I'm lucky, my dog can be a little
She said that
extra
word.
at
She
some
said
point. I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Okay,
Is that who
one
they're appealing
program,
to with
how will
this
they
DLC
affect
for
the reoffending
prisons?
rate?
I don't
Oh,
know.
great question. So prisoners who attend classes will see improvements in their behaviours. They'll also lose negative traits and
Thank you
reputations.
for the dollar, American
and there's
Patriot.
also new programs
Thank
that
you.
enable prisoners to work in the new prison bakery and restaurant. Through good behaviour, prisoners can even reduce their sentence, but this now also means the reverse as well, so that if inmates commit crimes while inside, they'll see their sentences extended.
Okay, I understand. Gaz, to me, this sounds like a really big change to the game's reoffending mechanics. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Every prisoner in the game has their reoffending rate, which is affected by
Your money
how
or
much
your
you
life.
punish or provide for them as a player, and now it matters more than ever before. So once a prisoner is now released, if they reoffend on the outside, you can see them returning. But there's also rewards for wardens who release prisoners successfully. And that's not all. Second chances.
Influencer with the $5. Imagine if it goes dark and the Among Us strip theme starts playing.
Thank you.
Great. I know we have a lot of
Yeah, what would the
players who are
grand
gonna wanna
strategy
get
Among
their
Us
hands
be?
on this.
What could that do?
Do we have a release date?
Yeah, it's very soon. So on June the 16th on PC, Xbox One,
Chat.
PlayStation 4.
Xinjiang
and,
Architect
June the
has someone in
29th for
chat.
Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch players.
Your money or your life.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in the chat.
launching alongside, and this will add a new narcotics search order, wall panels to divide up your rooms, new policies, and much more.
Okay, so only about 3 weeks to go. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this. Natalie, anything else that you guys are planning for this year?
She's always looking forward to getting her hands on it, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty more
Can't
from
wait.
us. Some of our amazing
I don't know if you can. There isn't that much time to play games, surely, when you're the CEO of a really
There'll
big
also be a
company.
stream from Larry Lawton, who's an
She should be honest
ex-George
about it.
who now runs a non-profit organisation dedicated to prison reform.
Thanks,
And
Weechula,
he will be
$2.
playing
Thank
and
you.
showing off some of the amazing
Cut off the
community-built
hands.
prisons. There'll also be a whole
Your
Prison
money or your
Architects
life.
Belgian
community
Congo, is that what
members,
he's trying to say?
including The Great Escape with Dre, Baron Von Games, and Blitz.
Those are some really cool names. Thank
Tabby
you
has
so
2
much,
Robux,
Gaz
don't
and
spend
Natalie,
it all
for
in one
joining us
purchase,
here
he
today.
says.
Thank you,
I hope to
thank
see you
you.
soon again.
Is that Roblox or
so much,
rubles?
Re-education
Okay, and we
mechanics.
actually have one more piece of exciting news from Prison
Satania,
Architect today.
thank you
We
for.
have this.
Wait, what's this? Oh, it's nothing. It's
the
nothing.
Prison
important. Thank you.
Architect cardboard county penitentiary game. This is, as it sounds, a cardboard game, and it's being financed through Kickstarter, so it's already live, so you can
Why
go
do
on
they need
there
to
if you wanna
finance stuff
check
through
it out today.
Kickstarter? The fucking paradox.
Yeah, they do.
Your money or your
They're sort of doing what
life. The
Steam and Valve did for a long time, which was pretend to be an indie developer for, even though they've got megabucks.
Oh, it's Stellaris stuff now. Here we go.
Hello everyone.
We're very experienced in this
A
game.
lot has happened with Stellaris in the 2 years since I last got the
Your
chance
money or
to
your
talk to you
life.
like this. Among other things, we have announced a board
said the
game
word-
in
he said
collaboration
among.
with
He said it.
Academy
He
Games.
said it. Confirmed.
And the Kickstarter was fully funded within the first hour. So it's been really fun to see such excitement for Stellaris as a brand. We really want to thank our fans for making Stellaris bigger and better than ever. And I'm happy to announce that Stellaris has now
They
sold
told him
more
to
than
use his
4
hands more in
million
the
copies
rehearsal. They
on
fucked him up,
PC
poor guy.
alone. And with the recent
He's doing
release of
well.
Nemesis, we also saw the biggest amount of daily active players ever, with a bit over 250,000.
They really did. They
So
really
again,
shouldn't do that
a
side
massive
shot where it
thanks
shows him
to
speaking
all
to
of our
absolutely
community.
no one.
So
Like,
alright,
just
let's
have it
talk
straight
some
at the
news.
camera.
It's
First
that
up,
meme, yeah.
We have some news for
It's just
console
talking to the wall.
Yeah, he's
We're
done.
happy
We need to make the
announce
gif
that
out of that
Expansion
already.
Pass 4,
Yeah.
which includes Federations and the
He's
2.8
talking to a screen that
Butter
says
update,
Stellaris.
will be available on June 17th. Let's check out the trailer.
Okay.
Among Us content pack.
Was he perhaps the best public speaker we've had so far? I think he did that pretty well. Anyway,
Quite aggressive with the hands. I don't know. Maybe we're just of differing schools here. Console edition.
I no longer agree to your terms. From now on, you will agree to mine.
We are born when the flesh fails and unlocks our true potential.
yeah, they're really waiting for the last segment to be the actual game announcement.
Yeah.
In the hour.
How many more games are there? It's not going to be any Europa
Oh,
announcements. Maybe an apology.
They're going to do
Maybe an apology.
for that and Imperator. They're going to do a double apology.
So, console edition fans,
If they did that, oh man, that would be props to them, right?
calendars right
No chance,
now.
though.
Is this
And on
only
the
about the
PC
console
side,
edition?
This year marks a special occasion, as Stellaris is turning 5. It also marks a generation shift, with the recent release of Nemesis and the 3.0 update. And again, I really want to thank our fans for being such passionate and engaged people that are helping us by providing feedback so that we can make Stellaris a better experience. And now is perhaps the best time to get your friends to try the game, because it is currently free on Steam for the remainder of this weekend. On behalf
okay.
of PDS Green and the entire development team, I want to invite you to celebrate Stellaris turning 5, and let's together look forward to an even brighter future. See you there.
The life
What do you think of Stellaris, Spud?
It's good. It's fine. I like it. Good game.
The things I've
Some parts of it are a bit boring, but
I think it works better as a single player experience.
I don't know. I think maybe it would get boring in single player. I don't know.
I feel like in single player you can hone to the flavor. Yeah, full
Yeah,
speed.
you could get into more
Whereas, yeah,
stories and things.
because that seems to be where the game does its best work.
to learn why we exist.
Is this a new DLC?
What is our
Or
place
what were
in
they
the
even talking
galaxy?
about? A console edition? I don't know.
I've heard ancient echoes of voices long silent.
All these pop-ups.
I've
Too
seen
many
creatures
pop-ups.
of
Pause the game. Pause the game.
origin and form. And yet, it's only the beginning.
Is that the dimensional horror?
For our greatest achievements lie in the stars ahead.
Yeah, free weekend. Very nice. Okay. I already bought the game though. Bought it when it came out.
2016 it came out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Doesn't. Yeah.
Same year as Hoi 4.
Now entering the remix is the product marketing manager for Surviving Mars, Liz Hirata.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
How are you doing today?
Doing really well, thank you.
And how's our game doing? How's Surviving Mars doing?
It's doing really awesome too. We're hard at work right now. If you didn't hear at PDX Insider,
this is another game I've never played, so I don't really have any interest.
Surviving Mars in 2021 from our good friends
I haven't played it either.
I
think it was originally a board game.
And we do actually have
I
one
might
of
be
the
incorrect
devs with
there.
us today, Bart Vossen from Abstraction. Hi, Bart. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Great to be here.
Great to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit more about your studio?
Abstraction is a game development studio based in the Netherlands, and we've worked with several other studios before on games like Ark Survival Evolved and Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Now we're super excited to work with Paradox and Surviving Mars.
Very cool. So are we. We really love Surviving Mars. I do know that you've already released a bit of content for the game, right?
Yeah, we released a tourism update in March. It's always a bit nerve-wracking right before release, but it was super cool to see the fans' reaction and especially their excitement.
Why did someone just say it's Tommy K?
More content later this year.
Okay, all right, that's really great to hear. Tell me, what's up next then with this content this year?
We've got a bunch of exciting new plans to expand the
right.
game and add cool features in the
That's
near
an
future.
comment.
We can't wait to tell the players about it, but since we're still in development, we don't want to go too deep into it just
Colonizing
yet.
Mars.
Instead, we did bring you guys a cool teaser image.
Okay.
Ah, looks very, very cool.
Someone can make a your mum
I
joke about
can't
that.
wait to see
teaser
what's
image,
coming next, and I look forward to the gameplay going deeper. Liz, for this weekend, what is our team planning?
Lord Cattle, thank you.
We've got a lot of things planned. Well, first and foremost, if you haven't tried Surviving Mars yet, first of all, why not? But
Vitor, thank you for the super
we have a
chats.
free weekend going on, just like Stellaris and Cities.
Just Bart Simpson on the
Try
mic.
out Surviving Mars all weekend if you want. Besides that, we've got a lot of
Vitor says,
community
"Let's go."
activities going on. So if you want to get to know the new
It's difficult to keep up the Victoria 3 energy
coming
through
out
all these
in
sections,
2021,
isn't it?
you're more than welcome to
Really
hop
difficult,
into those
but
community activities.
Yeah.
And then we're also
It'll
doing
come
something
back.
that I'm
I
really
wonder if she's looking forward to getting her hands onto it. If she says it again, say the line, but I hope she does.
I do.
I love it a
I think
lot. And
this
I
is
also
the
really
this is
like
the
it.
last
I'm really
segment before the
excited
actual
to
announcement.
announce that we're going to be starting pre-orders
It has
for
to
the
be, yeah.
Surviving
So we
Mars.
just need to get
original
through the
soundtrack
Surviving
vinyl,
Mars
which
stuff,
you can,
and
you
then
can
we're
go
there.
to vinyl.survivingmars.com and you
Your
can
money or your
send me
life.
pre-order.
Minalux says, my mental status rapidly degenerating 100 Argentine pesos.
Hang in there,
Cheers, mate.
guys. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Yeah, true. It's true.
If you think your mental
They're
state's
testing us.
deteriorating now,
Thank you,
you've never
Liz.
experienced
Thank you,
10
Bart. It was
rehosts
great
in a
having
row
both of
going
you
out
on
to
the
sync
show.
in Victoria
Great
2
being here. I
multiplayer.
can't wait to share more about
We've been
Surviving
training.
Mars
We've been
in the
training a
future.
decade for
Yeah,
this.
me too.
What have we done?
Wow, this has
Now
been
what?
quite an excitement for one show. I hope
Your money
you've
or
all
your
enjoyed
life.
seeing all of it. From the distant past of Crusader Kings to the far future of Stellaris and everything in between.
Okay.
If you haven't seen everything Paradox has to offer, plenty of our games are available right now on Xbox Game Pass.
Xbox Game Pass.
This is just the beginning too. We've got a whole weekend of PDXCON remix to look forward to. So on behalf of all of Paradox, hey, why did you turn off the lights? I wasn't done saying thank you to everyone. Well, we might have just one more thing to share with you today.
Looks
Your
quite
money or
fancy,
your
like.
life.
Is this it? Yeah, okay.
Never before have the lives of so many changed so much, so quickly, as when the engines came
Well,
to life
that's it.
for the very
Yep.
first time, with a roar that echoed over continents. In the soot and ash covering
Is
the
it?
streets,
I should you mean surely, right?
people
Okay.
planted seeds of revolution. Visionaries of commerce and diplomacy electrified the world, and sparks of inspiration flew towards the sky. up. Up over the smokestacks rose a promise of a grand tomorrow.
Damn.
Well, there it is.
That's
Sign up
cool.
now.
And the leak was, dude, the leak was real. Look, it's the
It
same
is.
logo.
It's the one that I put in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The leak
Wait,
was
who's this?
the leak was
Who's
real.
this? Oh, nice. Okay, good. Okay.
There you have it.
Victoria 3.
Confirmed.
Victoria 3
Holy shit.
confirmed.
With what?
The cheeky nod to all the
Your
names.
money or your life is Victoria 3. Well, Victoria 3 is a grand strategy game that takes place between the beginning of the Victorian Age in the 1830s to the early 20th century and a world that would have been
Victoria 3 is
entirely
actually happening.
unrecognizable to Lord Melbourne. The 19th
That's
century
crazy. I've always
saw
liked Wiz
the
as well. I like how he's
expansion of
in charge.
invention of the telegraph, mighty steamships, new weapons of war, and, most importantly, new ways of viewing the world. The abolition of slavery and serfdom.
Okay, they're going
the
right into
fight
the issues
for the
then.
emancipation of women, the trade
Alright.
union
Your money or
movement,
your life.
the effects of nationalism and pan-nationalism, socialism and free trade liberalism.
Okay.
But you, of course,
Looking back on
you
it from
already
the
know.
prism of modern politics,
So
I
what
get
can
it.
you
Okay.
expect from Victoria 3?
Your money or your
Well,
life.
For one, the iconic pop system that is so
Yes,
core
keep the
to
pop
Victoria
system.
franchise is of course back.
Okay, good. Deeper than ever.
And we've also
Okay.
added political interest groups.
That's very positive.
And a new, robust market
New
system.
robust market system.
We've also
Alright.
made changes to how diplomacy in war works. And I look forward to telling you a lot more about that in the future.
Spheres?
Now, we recognize that Victoria has a special place in your heart. And we
Your money or
promise
your
you
life.
We are not moving away from the detailed population management that is at the core of the series.
Yeah, okay. Good.
We have
Wow,
learned
that's
a
good.
lot
Hear. Okay.
over this decade, and we want to use that knowledge to
Your
build
money or your life.
So many
an
super
immersive
chats. Let's read them
society
after,
that
okay?
you would expect
Thank you for the
and
super
that the
chats.
fans deserve.
Yeah.
But we also want to make use of that knowledge to make the game a bit friendlier to newcomers so that they too can enjoy the Victoria series. Now, it is way too early to be talking about a release date or even a release window. But keep an eye on our social media and official forums, including Discord, as we'll be posting regular updates and information as development progresses.
Well, plenty of content then to do.
We also have a few panels about Victoria 3 coming up right here at PDXCON.
I like that
So I
Wiz
hope
is
you're
in
looking
charge.
forward to those.
He did a good job when he was in charge of Europa.
Profound honor to have been entrusted with the development of a game that so many people have been clamoring for over the years, and I very much look forward to telling you all about it.
I'm being
in the
spammed
months
on
to come.
Discord.
Wow, Martin, this is awesome. How do you feel?
Wow, that was a
Amazing.
great.
It's so good.
That was
to
awesome.
finally
Really
be able to
Victoria
talk
2-ish
about
how she
this
came out
after
of a
years
fucking
just
portal.
sitting there and going, you have no idea.
Yeah, it has been.
She
quite
should have
a while for you.
arrived on a bloody
and for
train.
us, all of us actually.
Your
I know
money
you
or
have
your
Quite a
life.
few things planned for the weekend. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, we actually have several panels about Victoria 3 coming up. Right after this, in fact, we're going to have a panel called Welcome to Victoria. We'll be going through the core game vision and the
Victoria
game
3.
All we're
Yeah.
getting is a vision.
Wow.
We're also going to have a panel where our lead game designer, Mikael, will be talking about the economics of the
There's
game.
some
the
big
nuts and
promises
bolts
there.
of
He seemed to-
Victoria's economy.
Very
He seemed to be
good.
genuine. He's a
Very,
genuine
very
bloke, I think.
Called Wikinomics.
Ah,
of
good
course.
name. Mm.
And on top of all that, we're also going to have a panel that's called Together for Victoria, where me, Henrik Hansson Gruggi, and Don Lind Podcast will be talking development history of the entire Victoria series, war stories from Victoria 2, and things like that. So I think that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that all sounds amazing. I, for one, can't wait to play the game. I wish you and the team best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I never actually thought I would be standing here and being a part of the announcement of Vicky 3. I have goosebumps. Thank you
All right,
again,
okay,
Martin,
good, all
and
right.
thank all of you for joining us for this announcement show.
The Vic 3 Steam
Definitely
page
stay
has
tuned here to see
screenshots.
more about Victoria. But
Okay.
until then, this has been so much fun. We saw the Royal Court coming to CK3.
Yeah, it's happening.
Met the new
It's
boss
happening.
for Empire of Sin with Make It Count. Celebrated with Hearts
That's
of Iron
crazy.
and Stellaris.
It's
Had a
happening.
quick
They
peer
announced
at
Vic 3. He
Cities,
came out and
got a
promised
second chance
sticking
to
to
play
the
with
original
Architect,
economics
and looked
and
into the
stuff.
future with Surviving Mars. I think that's everything we've got.
Someone in chat saying
Voice
she's
person,
not going to play
anything
it.
else?
They're damn right.
PDXCON Remixed Announcement Show was made possible today thanks to the help of our friends at Razer, Discord, Easy Trick, Freaks for You Gaming, Xbox, AOC, Recaro, Twitch, and Night Team 4.
And Spudgun official.
Thanks to all of our partners. You are helping us make PDXCon what it is. And thank you, my friend in the sky.
I suppose we'll
You've
dissect
been
that.
quite loud.
Well,
there's not much to dissect, obviously, but
when they're going to have a panel.
I think
For
there was.
all of us at Paradox, we can't wait for you to get to play these games and make some new stories. Stay tuned for more PDX content.
Oh, yikes.
I'm allowed one stupid joke.
What was the joke?
Anyway, this has been amazing. Thank you and enjoy the weekend, everyone.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'm gonna look at Steam. All right.
I looked it up on Steam. I haven't seen it. Victoria.
Yeah, it's there. It's
3.
there. I see screenshots. Okay, I'm downloading. Okay.
Screenshots look interesting.
Okay, how can I show this? Alright, what are we gonna do? What's happening? Oh my god. 1 minute. 1 minute countdown to what? What is going on?
Victoria 4 announcement.
Ooh.
They really left it as long as they possibly could to finally do the announcement.
Right, hold on a second, let me just... Hold on.
Huh. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back to them.
Time we
right.
can
Yeah, we
finally...
can finally.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you read that? Can you
That's
read
right.
that, chat?
I've been holding this in my closet, avoiding revealing it. Man, transporting this shirt was a nightmare because I'm like, throw it in my gym bag. I'll head home. And then somebody's like, oh, hey, do you have? And I'm like, oh, you can't look in that. That's a trade secret.
Okay, I'm looking at the Vic
go.
3 screenshots now. Finally.
This little
Okay,
old
there we go.
thing.
That little thing?
This little old thing.
What does that say, Troy?
Does it say
Okay.
Victoria 3?
Are you looking at it with me, Piechucker?
Like,
I think it
I'm looking, yeah.
Let me just get behind here.
You want to make your puns now? Do you have any puns that you want to make?
And the chat box. Alright, okay. This is it. This is what we're looking at.
So many puns.
Okay.
You can
Early
let the
footage
floodgates
under
open now,
development.
So mine,
December
of course,
10th,
was Royal Court.
Yes.
Interest
Right?
groups.
I was like, I'm courting disaster.
Interest groups. Percentages. What's this?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm a real royal friend to have.
The state of Leinster. Let's
Yep.
For days.
Yep.
Puns
That's
for
good.
days.
That's good.
turn them
That's
down.
good. So what did we get new, Troy? We got
of course, Vicky 3.
Vicky
Confirmed.
3, obviously.
What is this? Buildings. Turmoil 7%. Standard of living 8.3. Peasants.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. We have
Prison architect.
British market. What's this? Okay, are they looking at a market? Piechucker, are you with me?
I'm with you, yeah. I'm
You're
looking.
at the same screen I am looking at with the first
Yeah,
screenshot.
the British market. Yeah.
The map is looking more 3D. So
It's got tourism mechanics.
tourism. Where's tourism?
GDP.
Good
Yeah.
friends of mine have made these content.
Is that under G?
Right.
Oh no, taxation.
Taxation. Okay.
We got boomer eyes.
It was really close.
So there's some pop growth. Struggling, middling, secure. So that getting your life needs.
Yeah.
GDP?
Peasants?
Leinster has a GDP of 6.4%. Is that the GDP of Britain?
I guess it's of the entire economy.
Really, really excited. It's such a good game.
So Leinster would be 6% of the British economy, which is quite interesting.
Alright, let's go to the next screenshot. Okay, we're over in China. Okay. There's interest market again.
I'm glad that we're getting.
What's that? There's a flag in the top left. These are all your menu options.
In-depth plot devices.
Overproduce, underproduce. 6 trade routes.
It's like the Imperator mechanic.
Is it like Imperator trade?
Yeah, I hope not.
Floodgates are open.
Kokand started to improve relations with this China, apparently. General Fang Yang, there. Chinese market, 100%. Okay.
I'm expecting so many tweets tomorrow from all of our coworkers. Like,
trade routes. Trade routes is something I thought they might add because I don't know, just having goods like teleport all over the place. They could add. I thought they could have added more fluid trade. That might be better than a cloud. I don't know.
Yeah. So we did have some secret segments.
So the map looks quite good.
We can reveal. We're gonna reveal.
Yeah. The visuals. It's got good visuals, and the UI seems to be. And you know, you can speculate about the mechanics, but
I guess
it's
the
a good-looking
map
game.
is looking better than what I thought because I knew they would get rid of the nice 2D map, the beautiful Victoria 2D map, but it doesn't look too 3D and blobby like EU4. I don't know though. I don't know. It just doesn't look great to me. Doesn't stand out. I don't know. First thoughts. I don't know. Okay, politics screen.
I mean, not all of the secrets.
Early footage again. It says number of investment levels, bureaucracy costs. What's that? What is this? Is this a focus tree or something? Law enforcement. Politics.
It's really interesting to see because obviously we have.
Is this technology maybe? No, it's politics, but seems to be. Oh, maybe these are levels.
My chat's hating it the whole time. By the way, my chat hates it.
And I know it's been they've been bursting.
The map is mediocre. Screen seems so cluttered.
Like, hey, this super secret project I'm working on looks super duper.
Some guy said, "Chill, guys, it's not even alpha," which is probably a fair comment.
Yeah. We have to keep that in mind. Right, so I don't even know what's going on in this politics screen.
No, I can't really.
Here's another.
I'm unsure of what this means.
Okay, I see they've actually got a character there. They've got a head of state character.
Want to know the super cool secret?
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
I found all this news. I told my roommate.
With an heir. HM's government next election.
Who isn't your roommate?
My roommate's
Politically inactive population.
Okay.
He was like, "Yeah, I know," and I was like, "No, but I'm excited." And he's like, "Yeah, I already know." But I had somebody to talk to about it, right?
That's quite cool. I think that's quite cool. Like having your government and your opposition, and there's a coalition there. That's quite interesting.
How is the Anglican Church and rural folk in the government?
Now you know.
They, if we go back to the first screenshot, they were interest groups. Rural folk was an interest group for China, so I'm supposing that interest groups are political parties.
Screenshot 4. The interest groups.
Yeah, but they're both called. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. There might have.
Someone's telling me there's mana. Clout mana. Where's that? Clout. Clout here. Okay.
But remember, everything happens for a reason. Everything was planned, right?
Yep.
Interest groups? I don't know. Screenshot 5.
Oh, that suit was amazing.
Okay, that's just a city. Where is this? That's in Turkey. Okay. That's a port and a city.
His regalia. Oh, imagine what next year holds.
Can you imagine navally invading here? Why have they built a real-sized city on a massive piece of land?
Whole new set of secrets.
Yeah.
There's always going to be secrets. Always new things.
1847.
Secrets being.
Ottoman Empire. Turkish market, 100%.
Made into secrets, made into reality.
The markets are interesting. Turkish market, 100%. I think having shares of other people's markets is probably a good sign for spheres and economic
They got
mechanics.
rid of political parties and made it so that interest groups are your parties somehow. Oh, someone's saying that road? Yeah. Well, it's alpha. I can forgive them for that in the under development bit, but...
We've revealed all these
Yeah.
things to speculate on for people to go, what could this panel hold now that we know what it...
Where's, like, your money and your resources? Because this is the game, the normal game screen. How's your information of your what you have?
Vision statements.
So that's a very good question, yeah. Where's your money?
Yeah, where's your money?
I mean, I don't know this because I haven't seen all of your panels, but will you show pictures?
There may be some sneak peeks. Who knows?
Where's the population?
They removed money. There was money in Hearts of Iron 3 and they removed it from Hearts of Iron 4, so perhaps.
Very much based on all the royal court stuff. So if you watch any of our panels...
Are they talking about Vic 3 behind us? I don't know.
So you can see that royal court.
Oh, they're talking about the CK3 thing.
Put into the big screen behind us.
I love, oh my gosh, all the trailers. Let's talk about the trailers for a little bit. They were so good.
Well, the first screenshot of the UK here is the most detailed one we can see of the map itself and how it would look.
Yeah. Got an idea notification and they've got 8 other notifications, so similar system to CK3, perhaps, for notifying you of things.
Okay, people are telling me it's blocked by the early footage. Okay, yeah, there you go. There's money and things under that. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it might mean there's mana under it too.
What do we have next, though?
Maybe they're hiding the mana and the money.
Yeah.
Someone said Empire Total War in the chat. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting that. Yeah, I was getting that.
I don't like having the actual cities on the map visible there. That's
Get everything ready for that panel.
kind of...
I think, yeah, having like a little graphic or something would be cool, but they seem to be too big.
It's a big map of the world. You're not meant to see the cities. It's too zoomed out. So having them in is just weird.
Yes.
That announcement show, you know, it was...
That's a very fair point, yeah.
Like Victoria 2, you can't see cities on the map. Well, I mean, in Victoria 2, you can, if you zoom in, you can see factories and railroads, but those are just representations.
Oh yeah, food. Get some food.
People are saying mana. Where's the... I don't see mana. Don't see mana. Political power mana.
No, I don't see it either.
Where would it be?
Politics? Bureaucracy cost? Doesn't look like mana to
Colony
me.
growth generation speed. Okay, actually these things are interesting. 10% political strength. Mortality of labourers employed in mines. Workplace safety office.
Now that Vicky has revealed, there's a lot more content on Discord because you can actually talk about that Vicky.
Mana's under the ban. Yeah.
Hopefully that incentivizes the few of you that didn't choose to join or choose to activate that extension already.
Yes.
Anything else?
Do you think we need to get our special guests back?
You got a pretty hat on today.
I think that's a good idea. Absolutely.
And also absorbs sweat.
We'll get some special guests back to discuss. We need more opinions.
Yeah, it's literally because it absorbs sweat. That's all. The only reason.
Who have we got
Let's
waiting?
get Nurse Reno and Zombie back in.
And the hoodies.
Yes, it's really good.
Well,
I moved them. I'm sorry to take you out of your big conversation.
Welcome to Victoria.
Did I interrupt?
No, not really. I mean, kind of, but not really.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that whole channel is Doomer.
It's Doomer.
Yeah, they're Doomer.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
So we've kind of looked at the pictures that they did post on the Steam page, and on all of them, they put a early footage copy paste over a UI element in every one of them. And one of them, they didn't hide it very well, and we can kind of tell that it's mana. So, yeah.
Okay.
There's no money here. There's no budget in any of these screen links. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I could definitely see this being one of those. So okay, so let's take a conservative estimate, and let's say we assume that they're using the Victoria-esque enmity. One of them could be leadership points. One of them could be Diplo points. Now the question is, what are the other ones?
Yeah, it could be the same.
So there's a money symbol.
Yeah, money.
There's a money symbol is what someone found in one of the pictures. So it's what was thought of is a good way to put that. Is it's probably going to be something like the ducats system in EU, where it's like a representative money mana as opposed to active money that comes from the pops. We don't know. It's a lot of, but the point is though, is that the UI elements are on the left side of the screen, like we can see in most of these screenshots, all the pages, the tabs. But then there's a rather extensive UI element between what we assume is the GP ranking and the newspaper pop-ups that hides quite a bit of information and is intentionally blocked out in all of the screenshots. It's not looking good.
People are telling me that the devs are saying there's no mana, and they're saying in the information on the websites and stuff that there's no mana. They wouldn't be stupid enough to put in mana after the backlash that's already been in other games.
No. Someone was linking some bureaucrat. Sorry for interrupting you. Someone's linking some bureaucrat one where you pay shit in bureaucrat cost, and I don't know if that's a budget thing. You know how HPM does that, where they push more and more onto your social spending the more reforms you have as a sort of bureaucrat cost. That's also, a sort of mana there. It's arbitrary and it's just to make you pay more. But maybe it's something like that, which I guess is a little more acceptable, but like,
I think they might be. You could say they're right in that they don't have any mana, but it depends. Like, are we defining mana as per mana in EU4, or are we defining mana as per like in HOI4? Like there's a difference there.
Well, one of them, there's this investment levels page that's on the Steam thing that shows a bureaucrat cost divided by investment level, I assume, which is, it just says points. So it's a weekly cost of 190.3 bureaucrat points, and then I don't know, like it's.
They have a questions apparently.
In terms of a money thing, in the Ottoman screenshot in the top, behind the early footage thing, there is a pound sign.
There is, yeah.
So I posted it with a zoom thingy.
Yeah, that's what we were mentioning earlier. Ask with it might be something like EU4's money, where it's just
yeah.
Where it's a mana money.
If I could interrupt, there is a dev diary that we could take a look at. I've just sent it to you, Spud.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let me just get.
Let me try to find that as well. Let me try to find that.
I'll post it in general.
All right, that would be great, because I think I've read most of it because someone posted it's like a paste bin, but maybe that's a different one. I'm not sure. Maybe.
There you go. It's just in general now.
Let me see.
Oh yeah,
I did read. They said no mana, but like I'm not like the fact that they're hiding a crucial UI element, and let's assume one of them is money, right?
Okay.
That the fact that they only have the money, but they have no other information to go along with it. Like, you know how in Victoria 2, right? You show how much money you have, but it also show the budget, like how much money you're losing or gaining per day. The fact that they wouldn't be showing that as well as the money is a bit suspicious, in my opinion, because that's important.
Yeah, they just stuck a big banner over it.
It is, and then there's this thing with trade routes, which is. That's going to be
right.
Maybe that's something cool. Maybe that one's less of an issue. But.
That one is like 50-50 to me, to be honest. Like,
it might be cool.
This is exactly the fucking thing that was leaked, by the way, the Dev Diary 0. That was what they leaked earlier.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was right. Loads of people were like, no, it's fake. And that's it.
Yeah.
It was real.
Let's read it. I'm going to read it. Okay, fuck it. Yes, you're seeing this, right? This isn't a belated... Okay, we've actually already read that bit because... that was in the fucking leak thing. So what then is Victoria 3? I can start by telling you it's most definitely a proper Victoria game, namely a game with a core focus on economy, politics, and I'm not going to read the whole thing out. Getting too long.
Well, I think the main points are that they say that it's also a game that stays true to its core value, but also a game that is more open to newer players. I think that's the point why most people begin worrying.
That's very dangerous.
Yeah, because of course you can say that it can be good to both old and new players, but at the end of the day, you don't have so much budget. So, like, are you gonna put it on accessibility or actually complexity?
How do they do
you know,
it's like back in HOI 3, you had these things called sliders, right? It's not you can't do them both. You have to slide one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And EU3 had them.
So that's something that people are worried about, rightfully so, in my opinion.
I'm super doomer about it right now. You got monkey paw, man. That's a monkey paw.
With the trade routes, I think that has potential because it could be.
That does sound cool. Trade routes sound cool, but
like
Crusader Kings 3 had a in terms of their launch, it had a fantastic system to getting you acquainted with the game very, very quickly. So perhaps that's more what they're meaning by accessibility.
Make a fucking don't dumb down the game. Make a fucking good tutorial for it. I say, right? There you go.
Yeah, because Victoria 2 tutorial. If anyone's clicked,
you play as Belgian and do a few things.
Yeah,
and it's only for the fucking base game, not the expansion.
Gives a few text boxes.
Yeah,
I think there's not, it could have been much, much worse. I think there's a lot to be excited about, not necessarily much to be doomer about. And it's, I don't know. I'm not terribly horrified.
Nurse Reno, it says here the game should never rely on war to provide the main source of enjoyment. Now that's something you're big on with the economics.
That sounds like
sure, but they haven't mentioned a single thing. I see nothing on here.
You have to fear instead of
nothing
anything like that. Yeah, well, I mean that does make more sense. I mean, it puts more goods in the market, but it's like it's a completely different game now. Like I have no idea. I can't really speculate.
Everything that is achievable by war should also be achievable through diplomacy.
Sure, I can agree with that to some extent. That's why I'm not entirely like. It's just the mana, man. It's really the overtly hiding.
Can you encircle
overtly hiding that whole UI element? You can isolate people diplomatically, and they'll be far easier to manipulate.
You can already do that in Big 2, to be fair.
That'll be
like continuation.
That's the Diplo game. So I mean,
yeah,
it says there. And before you start speculating crazily about what it is and is not in the game, no, there is no.
Well, that's our job here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so because the trailer is no mana,
to be fair,
it's like I don't know if I'll believe him because it did seem really suspicious that they're hiding UI elements to begin with, as Nurse already said, and also the fact that they have a money value but no budget screen to go along with it. It either screams bad UI design to me or just mana. That's what I like, man.
Yeah, why would they cover it?
Yeah, it doesn't. Ain't looking that good. I don't know.
But on the other hand, like I was looking at the screenshots, and most of the other stuff does seem promising. Like a lot more new mechanics for one of them was like safety regulations actually reduce the amount of people dying in factories, like work-related damage or something. That's all pretty cool. Like I don't know how the mechanics gonna work, but like on a surface level, it seems pretty cool that your factory workers can actually die from like factory accidents and actually reduce it by having safety regulations. Instead of being like a contrived reducing pop needs like in Victoria 2. But and also I think the trade routes could be interesting if they make it how I think it is. Like imagine you have like different markets. You have like a Chinese market, the English market, whatever, and the trade routes allow you to get goods from that market. And if your trade routes are disrupted, you can't buy those goods anymore, right? Like a blockade would disrupt that, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that.
Yeah, but then it's like how much can that one trade route sustain though? Is it going to have the same kind of consumption system where pops broadly consume the same products?
That's the big question.
That's because then if it isn't like that and it's something where pops consume like regional products and then they can expand into other stuff like for luxury needs like tea kind of establishing itself across Europe and the United States. Like that, it makes more sense, but I don't know, if you need bread, if every pop needs bread, and then you just have a huge amount of wheat come from Russia, but you can just blockade Russia, what happens then?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm assuming they would have like a different thing where let's say you're playing Prussia or China, just because Russia's get blockaded, you can still trade over land trade routes. I'm assuming that's like a thing they're going to have. I mean, we don't really know much right now because we haven't really spoken any mechanics aside of guessing on the screenshots. But I would assume if they implement such a system, it would actually have both land and sea trade routes. So you can't really blockade if there's like a land trade route. I would assume, but you can't really.
You can blockade.
It's also weird how it limits you.
We can block maybe embargo.
The fact that it limits you is
block trade by land.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
But how
it opens up more economic warfare things.
And you
when
can have
it
a
limits
hard
the trade routes though,
against someone.
You should have as many trade routes as you can get. At least in I feel like that's going to be something that's modded very early if they keep that in the base game. You should have as many available trade routes as you can guarantee.
Oh, absolutely.
It shouldn't be you limited. I don't know how it works fully. I don't know if it's going to have like trade hubs or nodes or anything like that. But if you're trading directly between people like they used to back on Hoi 3, where you would just give X product to whatever country, then you should have as many as you can get. It shouldn't be limited at all.
Yeah,
So-
like the screenshot where it says like you could have 6 trade routes or something did worry me a bit because it's like, why would you have a limited amount of them? I mean, surely
Yeah,
yeah,
You're
on
gonna have to
infrastructure
upgrade
and
your
other
ports to
factors.
get more capacity. Like, I'll upgrade your port to get
I
another
guess, but
trade
even that
route
does make sense,
capacity
like-
for another trade route. Probably something like that.
That sounds a bit arbitrary because ideally you'd want
It does.
like, the ports would be the limiter for sea trade, but not trade period. You know what I mean?
Over land, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, you know how in Victory you need ports to colonize like provinces you border. Like let's say playing Russia, you still need ports to colonize Siberia, and that's like the same kind of thing that doesn't really make sense. And yeah, you do.
Well,
But
you need to have
you
the
need
colonial.
ports.
What do you call it? You need a
ports
colonial
for
point.
colonial power,
Oh, yeah.
and you need
In a
colonial power to
roundabout way.
colonize. Yeah.
Well, you need not only the ports but the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, ships too, depending on how much you want to colonize, of course. But yeah, so.
Oh, my mic's too fucking quiet. Wait, I was going to say something,
So
but I forgot what it was.
there are some things. I think there are some things to be interested in, but I mean, there's a few things that raise some red flags, as we've already mentioned. So I guess we have to see with the following dev diaries where they're gonna, specify a bit more what the mechanics actually like.
Yeah, I'll have to dig deep into the next dev diary #1 whenever that comes out.
I think it's one every week or something like that.
Oh yeah.
We could make it a regular thing. The
Well,
Spudgun,
yeah. There could be
Panels.
panels of people.
Yeah.
Like a panel show. It'll be like QI. Yeah. I do like the screenshot of the the Crystal Palace loading screen. That looks pretty nice.
It doesn't look as the map
actually.
itself didn't really stand out to me as looking great.
Yeah,
I
have
do
to agree with that,
think they're
honestly.
just for now they're just using assets heavily from other stuff they've done. But it depends how far this is into
Yeah, I
development.
don't know how finished it
Right.
is. What extent they'll change it.
Yeah.
You don't know. There's no release date. There's no we don't have any information how long this has been in the works.
Yeah.
Like seriously for.
I don't know. It looks laggy. We have no idea how they're going to do multiplayer. They haven't said anything about hot join. There's really just not enough information.
Actually, we can assume
but-
that the multiplayer is going to
You can
function
assume
like
it from-
the recent games do.
Yeah, from
That's
It's
not
not-
what I want to
I mean,
hear.
what about fucking, what about
Yeah.
Imperator? I mean, that game had fucking
They
garbage
actually
multiplayer
made
even.
the multiplayer worse in that game in an update. Years down the line.
Yeah, so
or
I
a
don't
year or
know.
two, which is strange.
It looks like the same kind of jarring UI shock that came with CK3, to be honest, because that shit looks awful. But
Yeah, I don't
hopefully,
know. It feels
I don't
a bit odd.
Well, they are borrowing from those assets.
yeah, they're
Like,
they're clearly like they're using the trait
Yeah,
system
yeah.
as well for country leaders, and I wonder how that's gonna go. So it's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could just be placeholder
In
assets.
terms of how
I suppose.
heavily they borrow from
But-
those other games, it depends how heavily they're going to borrow from like EU4 trade and like CK3 trade and that, or how much they're going to make of their own system, like developed on the past president of Victoria 2, and how much they're going to borrow from the later games.
Yeah, they said that they've been developing it a long time. Somebody just mentioned in the chat that he did say during the announcement it had been years of development already.
I think,
and also
to be quite
was,
honest, sorry to interrupt, I'll just say this. It would take years for them to figure out how Victoria 2 works. If they aren't the developers of it.
Yeah, that's a
Alright,
fair
what
call,
was
yeah.
it?
I was gonna say, in terms of the Paradox stuff that we know of, I think Wiz is probably the best one to be in charge, and certainly the one that I'd have the most faith in from his previous work.
Yeah, so something I'm really actually interested in finding out, like how are they going to treat uncivilized versus civilized countries? Because obviously they probably want the same classifications, right? How are they going to approach it? Because if you look at the screenshot, right, you will see that you have, like Turkey's like ranked
They've
8.
got the stream. They're doing a panel. They're discussing the game. We have to.
Team for
Oh, shit.
Victoria,
yeah.
and I will be your host for this.
But yeah, China's ranked 77, so
We
clearly
will
must
be
be
taking a
some.
closer look
China
at the
ranked
design
77?
pillars for
That's what it
Victoria
said.
3.
Yeah, if you look at the screenshot.
We will not be going into
I'm
the
seeing
nitty-gritty details,
a
because
copy
there will be
pasta in
other
the chat.
panels during this weekend as
It
well.
says IGN article.
But we will
They've
be
done.
taking a look at more
Yeah,
of the
they've got rid of
vision
the
and
civilized
broad
versus
concept of the
uncivilized
game.
distinction.
And with me, I have two extraordinary guests. We have our game director.
Well, my point is there clearly
Martin
must be some
Anwar.
system,
Welcome,
because if
Martin.
China was actually civilized, they'd be higher ranked than 77.
Yeah, they've got to have a distinction.
They might,
Well, it says it would be recognized.
they might just change it to the word westernized, because that's like the new kind of word they've been using.
How does it feel to finally be able to talk about Victoria 3?
Implications
It feels amazing.
The same thing.
I've been waiting for this for several years to finally be able to.
But yeah, there must be some distinction. I'm sure we won't know it for a while, but I'm sure there's going to be some kind of detail.
How much of it it's going to be linguistical and how much it's going to actually be down in the mechanics of the game. That's the main problem we have here.
Should I keep discussing with the panel loud or listen to their discussion about the game?
It's been such a hard secret to keep, Mikael, hasn't
But
it?
if you all have the stream up and listen to it yourselves, we can actually sort of react to it and discuss it.
No, it's been a journey.
Oh yeah,
and it's really strange to be here, but I'm very excited.
It's so strange to not have to hide all of this. It's really, really cool. Yeah. So game pillars, Martin, can you talk a bit about what game pillars are?
Of course. So game pillars or design pillars is something we use for pretty much any game we make at PDS, Paradox Development Studio, that is. Game pillars forms the very much core vision and are often
there's going to be so
very
much
early
political arguing
during
about this. Oh
concepting.
my god, it's already happening in my chat.
What is the game supposed to be? What are supposed to be the central themes for it? And what is it supposed to be? And more importantly, not to be. And then when you actually build a game and you design all the features and whatnot, you constantly refer back to the design pillars and you look, we have this cool idea.
They're not discussing anything at all of substance. They're just talking about arbitrary game design.
Because you don't just want to
they're talking about their
cool idea.
If you go to one of the screenshots around Anatolia, you can see the population of the states. Thrace in 1847 is 1.6 million, so they're probably mapping men and women.
Wait, is that the entire? Wait, is that the entire state, or just like the entire state, or just like one province?
That's what it says. It says states as a header,
amount of population,
and then
is that real? Actual?
I don't know. That's what is that? 800,000. 800,000. I mean, like that's definitely not what Victoria 2's base pop is for Thrace, but I don't know. It could be mapping children too. So I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
Because then you have to divide by 4 to see, because of the way Paradox worked out in the previous game.
We still have
to
all
say
of
how
these
much
countries,
it Victoria 2
everything
terms.
going on in the world, just like
To
other
see
Grand
that's even
Strategy games.
realistic too.
But Victoria 3 is more inwards focused.
I wonder if they have like some.
He just said the game's inward focused.
With your economy and with your
really?
is more important
Yeah, you did.
than
Which
interactions with other states.
Sure, I guess.
Very interesting, since I'm all about the multiplayer.
Wait, so so it's like in single player focused, what you said in.
He said internal focused on your own pops and your country.
It's basically a demographic.
Oh, I think I'm not sure, because the thing is, I mean, you could argue Victoria 2 is also internally focused as well, but I'm not sure what. I guess it could mean a lot of different things with that.
Continue to use the Victoria pop system, so it's our most detailed pop simulation system yet. Actually goes even deeper than in previous titles, and this is the way that we quantify your population in your country, because having millions of people can be really hard to keep track of, and they all need to have an impact on your country. So we split them up into these.
Well, it's like it's really it focuses internally to refine your country so you can project outwards more like better. But I don't know about the whole game being about inward focus. The whole point is so that you can feel secure and safe enough to project outwards.
What kind of city you want to build?
Indeed.
Victoria 3 is all
You did
about
mention that
what
the pop
kind of
system will
society
be even
you're
more
building.
complex than
Either
that
because
start.
you're aiming for a
Whatever that
specific
means.
goal, or you're just following the political currents, the movements, and the will of your population. So there's a lot of different societies that are simulated in Victoria 3. Everything from agrarian feudal states to modern social democracies.
Modern social democracies.
And your country, of course, will end up being shaped
like
over the course of the game
like Sweden?
by both your actions and the will of your people.
Like the
And
Weimar
in the
Republic.
end, which society you end up with, and how your country changes, and how
It would be nice if they could map out women and children, though, and elderly. I mean, I think that's always been kind of something missing in the game. But it's going to be way laggier. I don't know how they're going to do it.
If they just optimize it, make it 64-bit.
Yes, 64-bit.
That would be nice. But then, how are they going to do the netcode? Because you're still doing peer-to-peer connection.
It might not be peer-to-peer.
I guess it's
dedicated servers.
Well, what does it? No, doesn't EU4 have?
I don't know, like
Steam servers or something. Didn't they
no,
have something?
No, like they have peer-to-peer. Like they just have the usual thing where you host the game, other people join the host. There you go, right? Like I guess they could do something similar to meta servers back in the day, but I really doubt they're gonna make a big fuss about it. It's probably just gonna be
too much
the same.
money to maintain something like that. What if they get DDoS? Like, there's just so much.
The thing is, Victoria games are also like often scheduled at a specific time, you know. So at least the big ones are. So like having a dedicated server wouldn't really do much good. You want to have like something you can host for one time each week, maybe. And then after they don't use it, it's not like a Counter-Strike, so we have to be up 24/7 or something like that.
What are they talking about right now?
That actually very much allows us to do this because of its considerable detail and just how many different states of being for your population it can simulate.
But Martin, it sounds like it's very much about your country, not so much about the rest of the world. War is not a huge thing in this society.
No, and I mean, of course, I want to emphasize that all the countries.
She just said that war isn't such a big thing in the period that had World War One in it. I think she just said that.
Ignore everyone else all of the time. It naturally depends on your strategic situation and so on. But one of the aims we had going into this game is that we didn't want war to be the main source of enjoyment, the main source of strategic and tactical decisions. War should not be driving the gameplay. This is not.
It just depends how far they take this, because
so
you mean war
one
is still
thing we set out to do is
the gameplay cycle. The gameplay cycle of declare war, paint the map, declare war, paint the map is what you have in the other games. So having things outside that is really good.
For me, as a new player of GSGs,
but I hope the warfare itself is not
great,
neglected
I'm not
because
that
of this.
oriented.
Like
the whole idea of building my own society
so you do
appeals
everything
much more to me, I have to say. So that makes me really happy.
Yeah, I feel like personally, I started dipping my toes into this with Stellaris and its different ethics.
When Reno and I were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, one of the things that we were discussing was more diplomacy options would be fantastic. Like having asymmetrical deals would be wonderful because most peace deals you see in history is, well, you like you know, I'll give you this in return for that.
Yeah, like you have a proper peace treaty. Yeah,
exactly. It's not just total victory every single war.
That really ties in to the
next
pillar that we're talking about. Mikael, can you talk a little bit about diplomatic eminence? What is that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's important to consider that just because war is not central to the enjoyment of the experience, of course, the threat of war is clearly a major theme in the era and something that we have to simulate, right? Because power comes from the barrel of the gun, and so building up your military and using that as a means of getting your goals through is still something that you need to be doing. So in terms of this game pillar, diplomatic eminence, the important thing is that everything that you can get from war, you should also be able to get without going to war. If you can create the right situation where you can get the right people on your side to push the balance of power in the direction you want. And diplomacy should always include these kind of standoffs between countries and should always be tense diplomatic sort of negotiations rather than just, simple interactions.
So a little bit more like
you do develop.
Or something
That's
like
not
that.
good.
Yeah, we have
Has
a
provincial
mechanic for
development
this called
buildings.
diplomatic place, which is essentially what
like
Mikael just
EU3 or
described.
EU4 or
Yeah, someone just linked it in Spudgun's chat.
Or rather,
Like,
Right.
yeah, it looks like they have tiers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like the EU4 like looking ones.
Oh,
doesn't
so
it?
that could be like RGO and factory production, I'm guessing. You just or you can upgrade RGOs in that case, maybe. I don't know. Like in Victoria 1.
I wonder what you upgrade it with.
Do you have any great historical?
I don't know. Like I'm in Victoria 1, it's just like you put more goods and you upgrade, so there's more capacity. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Market, and I think a pretty good example is the opening of Japan by the United States Admiral Perry. I think he was an admiral, and and his black ships, where he essentially sailed to Japan. You know, parked his black ships there with their big imposing guns, and said, "I want you to open up the country." And of course, the US was not the only ones ended up involved in this. There were other great powers, but there was nobody really willing to back Japan against the US. So ultimately, Japan figured, okay, it's better to open my market and not be invaded.
Mikael, great powers is something that we mention in this
Commodore,
section.
my chat is
Do
saying.
you need to be a great
Not an
power,
admiral,
or
a Commodore.
what's the end goal
Commodore
here for
Perry.
you as a player?
Oh yeah.
Sure. I mean,
With a side
becoming a
point,
great
Lord
power,
Jester
I
used
think,
to go
is a
on bouncing
very
through this.
common default goal.
He was
for a
trolling
lot of,
Jaeger with that
players,
actually.
and advancing up the
HBO
that's an
ranks
oldie.
of
Okay.
prestige.
That was a
in
very.
the
He
world
had
is
Commodore
definitely
Perry as his
something that you'll
profile
be
picture.
spending a lot of
Changed
time
it from
doing.
the picture of his dog.
But you don't have to be a great power in order to enjoy the game. You should be able to start as a really minor power and just try to become a locally powerful nation, for example. But then you have to contend with the fact that there are these global empires in the world that sometimes can push their weight around, and you have to decide sort of what power block do you want to be a part of if you're not able to become a great power yourself.
Moving on to the next design pillar here, and this is my favorite one, I think. Everything is political.
Oh.
Martin, tell us a little bit
Everything
about
is
that.
political.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very
Oh.
edgy.
It does.
But ultimately, what it's about is that politics is very core to Victoria 3. And everything in the game is supposed to, in some way, flow from and or tie back into politics. Your pops are supposed
I have to
have
allow
an
politics in
opinion
my chat now,
on things
in my
like
Discord. It's over.
whether you're at war,
I can't have
diplomacy,
everything
the
is.
economy, of
He just
course,
said it.
very heavily ties into
They can't,
politics.
I'm actually serious.
And
We can't
nothing
discuss
is
Vic
supposed
3
to be, you
without
know,
it going into politics now.
politically
It's over.
agnostic because
Mm.
you're
Yeah,
simulating
politics,
a country
politics.
full of people
Everything about the
with
game is
opinions
political.
about everything. And they generally
So apparently,
convey
the
those
text are going to be split
opinions
into 3
through
different
what we call
categories.
interest
I'm just
groups.
reading on a Reddit post right now.
Michael,
Yeah,
can you
3.
tell
So
us
there's
a
going to be
little bit about
production,
interest groups?
military, and the society.
Sure.
Apparently.
So,
Okay.
managing
Okay. So it
politics
sounds like they've
in
merged
a nation
Navy and
of
Army.
But I'm assuming
people,
that like they
So-
probably merged
is
Navy. They've merged
tricky,
Navy tech into
right?
military
So,
tech.
the
They
pops
probably merged culture and
lend
whatever
their
into society, and
political
both
strength
commerce and
to,
production tech into
to
production.
these,
I'm assuming.
political
Yeah, pretty
avatars or
much.
factions called
Yeah, it
interest
sounds
groups.
reasonable.
So each country has about 8 of them active at any time.
Yeah, because
and
that
they
says
represent
Navy
different
and
interests
shit,
in
it's
your
going to be in the
country.
military as well.
So you might have the landowner interest groups that prefer for things to be aristocratic and conservative, and or the industrialists that would prefer a more open economy. But still enjoy the stratification of society. So there are these 8 factions that can be different between different countries, but they represent the same sort of niche. And depending on the pops, how wealthy they are, what kind of job they have, where they work, things like that, they will support one or the other of these groups. And that's what determines really what the political power balance of your country is, and what the pops in your country are driving towards in terms of what kind of reforms they want to see from you.
Yeah, I mean, judging by your clothes, I think I might be more in the landowner's direction. What would you say you would belong to, Mikael?
I'm in the trade unions.
Disgusting.
But it all really boils down to pops, really, Martin, doesn't it?
Them
Of course.
pops.
Yes.
It's a good
In
point
the
as
end,
well as nobody mentioned
interest groups get
national
their political
focuses.
strength from pops.
Are you
Oh
going to
yeah.
be able to
It's not
actually
as simple
control any of these
as just
pops? How are
every
you going to be able
pop
to
belongs
control
to an
them? Is it going to
interest
be
group. It
slider
depends on
based?
things like literacy,
I don't know.
That's a good
culture,
question.
You
Yeah.
said literacy.
discrimination,
So they have literacy in
and
the
a
game, right?
multitude of
Good.
other factors
Okay.
to determine whether pops lend support to a particular interest groups or whether they get involved in politics or are allowed to be involved in politics at all.
And that is kind of steered by politics in the end.
In the end, everything is political.
Okay.
It really is.
You said it again. Everything is political.
He said it again.
I, as a player, dream of just
It's
having
over.
a fully unified country that just backs me up at every decision. Like, will I achieve that utopia?
I would say you would find that, I would not say impossible, because our players keep surprising us about what is and isn't impossible, but I would say it would be
I wonder if this guy's actually watched my videos.
So
Probably
not
has,
very
right?
realistic at all.
No.
What if he's talking about Huey and the Wheel as well?
Well, we know that Paradox has seen that because they posted it on Reddit or whatever.
Yeah.
agreeing that this is the way to go.
Soon he's gonna be like making saying Navy instead of Navy.
Yeah, he's going to make
Spears
little
instead of
Freudian slips. He's going to say little spear or something.
And you might have
Navy
to
or
sort
inside
of
of
drag
naval.
them kicking and screaming and fighting you all the way into the glorious future you're envisioning, while, reasonably everyone should just agree with you.
But Mikael, maybe you can tell a little bit more about this. The interest groups, what is it that really makes the power shift between them over the time as you play?
So pops gain political strength.
Did I cut out there for a second?
You're back.
How wealthy they are,
yeah.
and what
Right, we can hear you now.
voting franchise
Sweet-ass.
you have in your country, if any, and a number of other things. So the pops will support different interest groups with their political strength. So as an example, right, you mentioned that can you ever get this?
This is interest group meme shit. I don't know. It feels like that fucking
I
garbage
think
shit
it's,
with DK2.
you know how just social movements
The way I
Yeah, how
understand it
issues-
is
how
there's
issues are
there's
handled,
eight-
yeah.
There's these
I'm
interest
pretty
groups and
sure
there's
it's
8
that.
of them, and they're like aristocracy.
Why is there 8?
Church.
What
I
is
think
it?
it's
8 because of some political?
Yeah, pop types, like classifications of pops. Not the individual pop types, probably, but.
Oh, so you don't look at the
I think
populations anymore. You look at your catch-all now.
It seems to replace political parties as well, because you can
Yeah,
see an
there's no
election there,
political parties.
like a coalition. You can see a coalition government in one of the screenshots of 2 interest groups.
It's an
making up the-
interesting way to avoid talking about communism and fascism in their game.
Yeah, they're making it political, but removing political parties.
If you have a heavily industrialized country, but you're
I guess they're trying to sort of replace it
Yeah.
with the political interest groups. I don't know, like maybe they're doing it. Do you know how in Victoria too, like you have scripted parties that appear and disappear on a certain date? Maybe they're trying to avoid that and just like using the generic sort of interest groups,
Yeah.
to represent. I don't know, something like that.
Adding some flavor around different countries' factions and interest groups would be quite interesting if they, they put effort into making different countries
Yeah,
unique.
are they going to be
like Republicans
Are
to
these
Democrats?
factions
or-
going to be
It looks
different in
like-
different countries or just the same everywhere? That's a question.
It looks like religion is going to have a bigger importance in the game because there's a devout interest group.
Speaking of
There is a religious interest group. So
Yeah, Anglican Church is part of the government
Oh,
of the
yeah,
UK
it says
and the,
Anglican Church. So there you go. They are unique.
the era of change.
That's different countries, right?
So that's quite
There you
cool.
go.
That's quite cool, yeah.
they have something petite bourgeoisie. Why is that's interesting? They have they have a difference between, I suppose, as the capitalists and the shopkeepers from landowners. So it's
Perhaps
interesting.
Japan would have Shinto interest group and a Catholic interest group. That'd be quite interesting.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can develop. It'd be cool if you could develop an interest group. For example,
be
you
cool.
you could develop separatism if that is an interest group.
Nationalism, separatism, culture.
Yeah, so like kind of like how Crisis, you could do like increased flat intention with NFs, but actually useful. Actually, yeah.
I guess that's cool. Like I don't know. It kind of feels like I'm trying to salvage what I'm looking at here instead of, oh, this looks cool. But I'm just doomer. I'm biased.
I don't know what to think.
Well, this is our job here.
It's not a fair assessment.
Yeah, France as well. You could have the Bonapartists and the or the Bourbons, or I think.
Yeah, that'll probably be in it.
So yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Rita. There's a lot to
Yeah,
worry about.
Orleaniste or whatever. Orleanists.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Which
Yeah.
one? What?
There's a lot to be concerned about, but there's also some interesting stuff here.
Yeah, no, there's cool mechanics, but it's like, what's a cool mechanic when you've gutted all the other stuff people like? So, I don't know. It's not enough information. Like, there's a lot of questions that they're asking the guy or whatever, but none of it was about spheres.
They haven't said the word
there's no
sphere
sphere
once, have
question
they?
up there.
Yeah,
There's no question about goods or market throttling or if there's a currency or like I would like to know more about the actual
have
behavior
different
of cops.
currencies.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be kind of cool actually. Getting real sick of seeing that British pound everywhere. It should be an American dollar after 1910.
That's the one thing I like about the game. But according to that screenshot, it has the pound side in on the Ottomans, so it could just be a generic thing, judging from that alone. We don't know yet.
They're not going to have different currencies, so that's way too much.
Currency.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't do that.
Makes up the core of the era.
Well, if they're talking about all this
you can only do that in
stuff
CWE.
Like, regional powers.
You can almost look at it.
Yeah, different currencies in CWE.
Against all the
That mod is such a clusterfuck, but I love it so much. I have a real respect for that guy. He did a lot of shit with that mod.
Technology.
You know what his name is? His fucking name is Stettin to Trieste.
Oh.
That's like his tag. Well, no, I think it's meant to reference the Iron Curtain.
Iron Curtain, yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a dumb
Yeah,
name, but it's
honestly,
funny.
the thing that makes me worried the most the fact that there's like no political parties, what I can tell. So yeah, maybe they, I don't know. Maybe they can make it work with just
fucking reactionaries in to get a jingoist party.
There also isn't any upper house.
There's no market here either.
There's none of that.
Not the way you see.
All right, let's
How
hear
do
him
you
talk about
decide if you're
technologies.
laissez-faire?
Hold on, then I will ask.
Like how do you decide if you can get?
Mikael, speaking of technology, do you have any favorites of the different technologies that you can research in the game?
Oh, that's a really hard question. I can name a couple. So we have three main types of technology, and you can only research one at a time. There's the economical ones or production-based ones. There's military, and
one researcher at a time.
Society.
Confirm
And
same
society is more like ideas, right? And all of these can have technologies that are kind of dangerous for you. And those are probably my favorites. So Martin mentioned technology spread as well. If you are a country that wants to avoid the problems of, let's say, to use a very stereotypical example here, socialism. If you want to try to avoid that happening to your country, you could try to not research that, right? That's easy enough to do, but you can't really avoid it spreading to your country. It will happen sooner or later. And the question is, when does that happen, right? So that's one of them. On the production side, I'm really fascinated by the automation techs because they improve the economic output of your country, but they also displace a large part of your country and create a totally different political situation. So those are all really interesting ones to me.
Yeah, and that goes back to everything
so you can
being
research
political.
Socialism, apparently. That's all he said.
Indeed.
A tech was there. That was the only specific
that
tech he
is all
said.
we had for today, actually. We've discussed all of the game pillars. And,
No, what I thought he said there was tech will spread to you if you refuse to research it.
You've been
so
fantastic. It's been a very interesting discussion.
Which is interesting.
Yes, thank you.
And we have more to share about Victoria 3. We have a couple more panels over the weekend, but we also have a lot more to share on our social media and our website going forth. So make sure to follow us everywhere. But more importantly,
Reno, from like a modder's perspective, is there anything that jumps out to you
to your wish
as something that you'd be interested in tweaking or looking at or implementing?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but the trade routes thing that I saw, I would probably immediately remove any sort of limit on how many trade routes you can establish. But then again, I also don't know the full breadth of that mechanic yet. So, and then another one would be these interest groups. I would probably, if it doesn't already exist, incorporate some form of separatism based on alien cores you have in your country. Maybe that sounds kind of cool. I don't know. And then I really want to know how these pops work, because apparently spheres aren't going to exist. So I'd like to know, how does money work? Where does money go? Where does money come from? How does it leave? Is there any money whatsoever? Because so far they've only mentioned a simulation. They haven't said how they're simulating it. So do pops in the info thing, it says that pops place orders while industries place sell orders. How does that work? How is that paid for? Or is it just transmitted?
Right, let me just stop you there. We're going to end this in 10 minutes. I'm going to stop streaming on the hour 5-minute outro. So we're going to have 10 minutes more discussion. I've got to still act like this is some kind of show. 10 minutes more discussion on what we've seen. I need the weekend to take it all in and have a real look at it myself. I can't really get a good idea right now.
It's gonna be hard to sleep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it will be.
I think one thing that's quite interesting, because you guys mentioned that they hadn't mentioned spheres at all. Having with the 100% market share that you can see in China and Turkey, having not an all or nothing system like Victoria 2 has, where they're part of your market or they're not. Having competing with other great powers for market share could be an interesting mechanic, an interesting gameplay mechanic.
Sphere is
depends on how it's implemented.
So it's going to be more like definitely an economic thing. Your spheres are not a sphere; it's your market and your common market, which is what it actually is in the game, Vic 2. You're going to be trying to build up your influence to make them go into your market, something like that.
It's definitely
okay, so I'm reading like a thing someone posted right now, and I mean it does seem like there is money, because it mentions that. Let me find it where it says in this thing. It says your GDP measures how much you produce and affects your great power ranking, but it doesn't necessarily reflect how much money you as the player have to spend. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know. It also said in that placing a buy order and a sell order or whatever, something about taxes, I think, or maybe that was mentioned elsewhere. But it doesn't say anything about the pops themselves paying out of pocket based on their income. I don't know. Maybe it's not a specific enough thing to mention, but it's pretty big for me at least. That's what I think is the most important part of the game.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how it actually works out.
Yeah.
And how do family units work? Like, are women going to be working from the very beginning? Are children going to be working from the very beginning? Do people function in a household unit? I don't know.
You could do interesting things with war there as well. Paraguay, for example. How they were massively depopulated from their wars. There could be interesting things they could do with that if they're going to implement a pop system with children, women, and men.
If you're fighting down to the last man, full siege me down, fighting a guerrilla war, is it going to be you get mobilize as many people as you can, so you have men, women, and children all for just in the army, but low quality or whatever it is going to be.
But that could be really cool. Having say you have a very significant war at the start of the game, the lost pops could echo throughout the generations, as the game progresses.
Or even down when you get to the Great Wars and you're on the cusp of defeat and you're grasping at straws, how we're going to change that to...
Oh god.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
That's gonna be such a meme if you can like.
I don't think they're adding children pops.
Like
That's a joke. That's a meme. No
you don't
way.
think so? I don't know. 1.6 million in Thrace in 1847.
What's the pop in Vic?
I don't know about that.
500k.
It's like 400 to 500. That's what I'm saying is, and apparently, quote unquote, that was based on their history thing. If you look at the pop history, they're like, in this year, this was what the population of men were. So I don't know what they're going for. It would make sense for them to map women and children if they're going to do women. It makes sense. I mean, like, if you're going to take the extra mile to map twice as much population, you might as well map another quarter. So,
all right, I actually got something interesting here about the mana. I'm reading this right now. So it says the number of countries that can be in your market at a time is based on the market leader's diplomatic influence, which is one of the main capacity types. Capacities are different from power/mana in that it is not a pool of points you build up and spend. It's more like having enough electricity to run a lot of devices. Influence is also used for things that are alliances, etc. You get influence primarily from having rivalries, your great power ranking, and a few other things that add percentage modifiers. So I guess what they're saying here is that instead of having like a set mana that you spend and then you get immediately, you basically get mana that you then spend automatically every day, and then you get more from other stuff. Right. I think that's what they're saying anyway.
Cool. That's what I like to hear.
So it's still mana, but it's more mana in the kind of way that you know how in Hoi 3 you use the diplo points each day to to influence people into a block or your whatever in Hoi 3. It sounds like it's kind of like that with the influence points there or something.
So it's still kind of arbitrary, but it makes more sense at least. Is that what you're saying?
Guess we'll see with time.
Exactly.
I think we don't know.
Oh, let me just see.
At straws
I hit 3,000 members on my Discord. I got like 100 people joining in the last during the stream, I think. So there we go.
Wow.
That's nothing to do with Victoria 3. That's about me. Enough about me. Back to Vic 3. Right. So. I don't know.
Well, reading it does seem like they're gonna. It seems like they're actually gonna have like supply and demand, so it won't be arbitrary. But I guess we already kind of knew that. I mean, they can't have arbitrary.
Sure, but then how is that mapped, right? It's like, is it just like, oh, this is a magical 100,000 people that happens to need 1.5 bread? Like, how is that mapped? So it's, I don't know.
People are what the fuck? People are blowing my Discord. Sorry, I can't. What I wanted to say about the game though is we've got an idea of what their attitude to the game is, right? So when he was talking, this is their words, not their actions. But what they're saying is seems like they're trying to be careful and stick to the original stuff that's good about Vic 2. They're not like they want to stick to the pops and all that. They want to stay true to it. That's what I got from what they're saying. Whether they do it or not is another thing. So what they were saying is, in my opinion, the right things to say. I agree with them. And then the other thing they were talking about is all the politics, though, and everything's political. I don't know. Don't really. But they're not. It's not going to be political in a controversial modern way. They're going to make it in the game, though. Old political factions and stuff. It might not be that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the reason why they're saying it is just because like it's been a lot of shit recently about games being political, so they're probably just saying it so like they know what they're actually getting into. Because I don't think this game is like that political. Like they're actually trying to steer away from political talks, where I can tell like the fact they got rid of the uncivilized versus civilized thing. So I think they're just saying it as like a heads up, to be honest. I don't think it really gonna matter all that much, if I were to guess.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns in the coming weeks, to be honest. Because that's something that haven't really got the Matt for one, we're all confused about how all that's going to work more than almost anything else. So we don't know if there's parties or anything like that. Like, we just don't know.
I just hope that the pasting of that fucking early footage bullshit over UI elements isn't just the start of dishonesty. I don't think that's a very good start at all. That shouldn't be there.
The first DLC is getting rid of a box that covers
getting rid of the early access tab.
I hope they're not going to release it in early access or anything. Or would that be a good thing because we get to critique it and make it better? I don't know.
That's not how that works. You know,
Paradox.
that's never how that works. So. How long has DayZ been out? Jesus. I was playing standalone in high school, man.
I think probably a key thing as well that will be interesting from like a release standpoint is with how Paradox has released its recent products for a long time, really. How many people are going to pre-order Victoria 3?
You shouldn't pre-order.
You should not. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you should not pre-order. 1984 gift.
You wait till that bitch comes out and you see how garbage it is, and if it sucks, you don't buy it. You vote with
I
your
have to
wallet.
fucking get it. Though.
Exactly.
So
I'm not a consumer anymore.
Yeah, you're telling us.
You're a streamer.
What was the thing they said earlier?
You'll make the money
live
back.
content maker. I don't.
Oh,
Parasite.
Live content
producer,
create. Yeah, live content. Yeah, that's your title.
Well,
all right. Well, that was a hell of a stream.
We have to say goodbye to the special guest again in a minute. Thank you so much for joining. We should do something like this again. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope it's not this shit.
Not what?
Yeah. Let's hope.
I said let's hope it's not this shit where they announce Victoria 3 and all the broken monkey paw fingers that have been knocked off.
Let's hope next time there's some more actual
they need to get into the meat and bones of it.
Yeah, because they were very skirted around it. Like technology, they only talked about socialism.
Well,
technology.
They mentioned socialism like 3 times.
You can avoid researching socialism, but it'll come to you anyway. That's the point he was making. I also thought they were going to get into sort of if you choose not to research technology and stay, like return to monkey, it'll come to you anyway. I thought they were going to get into that for a minute.
Return to monkey.
Yeah, like what happens if you don't research like the machine part tech or gas attack? Like
artisan economy's fucking confirmed, guys. Though artisan economy's confirmed.
Oh,
if we just don't research industry, just promote your artisans.
To be fair, that man does look like the artisan pop type. Like he looks like
a fucking pencil pushing, drooling. Yeah.
If he's developing the game from his own house, he's basically an artisan.
Yeah,
it looked like he was in it.
I mentioned this before, but like I mentioned before that the only time I would ever like fully look forward to Vicky is if they got like some super obese, autistic, like monstrous looking programmer boomer from like the fucking 60s. Just like a dude who knows what he's doing, you know what I mean? And then people started checking off, well, he does look a little autistic. And I was like, yeah, he does look a little overweight. And I was like, yeah.
But we can trust
And he did dress up, so I was like, I don't know about trust.
About 20 years
the
before
age
the
is
game comes out.
The age is a bad one. He needs to be way
Yeah,
older.
that's the thing.
I can't trust the man as he is now.
But what about the artisan man? The artisan looking man. He looked quite.
Him?
Old,
yeah, I guess he can.
Anyway, guys, special guests.
Get a beard of that length.
It's been a pleasure. They released Victoria. Well, they announced Victoria 3. Why did I say they released it? But
yeah, we'll see it in like 4 years.
Who
I
knows?
guess.
It could be a year. Or probably more than a year, to be honest. So maybe it's a reason to live, though. It's a reason to live. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just see how it's gonna have, what it's gonna be.
Nice. Now I have to revise my suicide letter. Thanks.
Don't do it, Reno. Okay. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.
Okay. Pleasure being on.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Piechucker, you stay here a moment. Thank you very much for co-hosting the thing, Piechucker. Thanks for helping out. It would be too awkward to do it
It
alone.
was a ton of fun. Well, I mean, we have such a natural chemistry, Spud.
Yeah,
I mean, we did a hell of a job.
Compared to the duos that we saw on the Paradox stream, they had about as much chemistry as a country that hasn't researched basic chemistry in Victoria 2. Ha! What a fucking great one.
What a segue.
Okay.
All right. So wait, is the super chats? Don't forget about the super chats, by the way.
Read a couple of the later ones that we didn't really read.
I think they've expired for me.
I've read, saw them. I'll have to leave it, but I'm gonna give my own goodbye to the chat. So thank you very much, Piechucker. There'll be more. There'll be so much more content. We need to.
Can I do a cheeky plug? Do you mind, Spud? Well, I'm streaming over at Twitch, and my my little thing is my link is in the description. If you guys want to come hang out for some comfy streams. But yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for having me, Spud. That was a ton of fun. Cheers, guys.
Okay, now it's just me and chat, and I have to say goodbye from me, and I have to plug all my content as well, right? I'm streaming on Twitch. I stream regularly on Twitch. This is a one-off back to YouTube stream because I used to stream on YouTube. There are currently 2 Victoria 2 multiplayer campaigns going on that I'm streaming on Twitch, one on Monday, one on Wednesday. And on Fridays, I normally do a community game, which is variety. Lately I did Stellaris, and before that I did some Hoi 4 ones. And yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, join the Discord. Everyone's discussing Victoria 3, can you believe it? And I have to work out how I'm going to make some content about Victoria 3, do some analysis and things. And support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this stuff. I've got loads of great Patreon supporters. They get to see bonus content, deleted scenes from my video series. Yeah. Anything else? I think I've covered everything. Yeah, I hope to just hope the channel will grow and we'll have lots of great content in the future. Lots of great times. Thank you so much for the highest viewer count by far I've ever had on a stream. Before today, my highest viewer count was about 500 on a Vic2 stream before. It got up to about, what, 2,000 this time? Crazy. I don't have a prime command. No epic commands here. Alright, thanks so much everyone. When will I see you? I don't know. I'll probably stream this weekend, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But confirmed that the next Vic2 video, the Airstar Aquitania series, will be next Friday. Great. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.